There's a
I've
restaurant
got
called Point
chicken
Break
noodles
Tacos.
too.
Yeah,
Point Break tacos.
all right. Well, that's perfect. So here goes. Let's see. Yep, everything's set and levels are good. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to There Will Be Dungeons. That's right, time to play D&D. And a big day today, I think, at least based on where we were headed last. So sit down and relax and enjoy. Maybe you've got a little cup of tea handy that you got over at phoenixpearltea.com/TWBD. And if you didn't, well, go do that now because they make great teas. They're based on our exploits in D&D, and they make them all the sweeter, the tastier, the better. So go check them out, phoenixpearltea.com/TWBD. Without further ado, I throw it to Kristen, and we'll catch us up on what happened last time since we did There Will Be Dungeons.
Last time on There Will Be Dungeons, the closing convention concluded. Everyone was ready for the riot to render the principal profitless by tuning the trianglosphere. On the flight over, Stanley, aware he might meet his maker, faced his father, only to find a passionless and pitiless parent who perceived the pain he'd produced proper. On Mars, Bok brought his gang of goblins. Everyone crammed into a car with Nash chained to the chassis. They drove at the doors of the solar mines where Slow Peter slapped slowly. Their damage was dangerous, but revealed relevant intelligence relayed to the air fleet. After downing the deterrents, a paladin arrived and the remainder readied to continue the combat. Now rejoin our heroes and their forces as the battle rages for the fate of the wide and weird world of the Wastes.
Okay, Bo, it's on you.
All right, we resume from last week. The heroes of the Wastes find themselves in open desert before a great mountain range. Within the mountain range, there's a gap where a large makeshift gate made of different pieces of sheet metal and findings from all throughout the Wastes have erected a tremendously tall wall. Upon this wall, you can see hordes of goblins scaling the mountains on either side of the wall where it's more climbable. And the hordes of Toyota host, these are madmen, war boys of the Wastes, decked out in paint and decals and hubcaps for shirts, throwing pipes and axes at the rising goblins. Before the gate, the smoldering remains of two lava and metal constructs known as the Slow Peters burn and leave large plumes of black smoke filing into the air as more and more of these goblin hordes just jump out of the vehicles that they came in and run towards the wall. In a circle around the front of the gate, we see our heroes, Hope and Stanley, in driving half a car, pulling up and having been burned in half by a Slow Peter, and she was going to park it behind one of the husks for protection. Nash is floating, having been thrown by Varel, and just did a U-turn to face the direction back to where his companions are. And Varel's standing there, looking proud and stoic before the chaos of the front gate, and beholding their next challengers. Two squadrons of Koromokishi and their Paladin of the Umbilical Order leader have jumped from the top of the front gate, landing on the ground and approaching the party for combat. And so there's a sort of chaos of goblins running up the hill, Toyota host fighting them upon the wall, the sirens going off within the mountain range, going boo, boo, as the paladin approaches you. And the paladin is a space marine-like being in large armor, standing 8 or 9 feet tall, taller probably than the man encompassing this huge body of armor, and his Orcan samurai, 4 on each side, not pacing, but keeping a very slow and cautious pace as they approach. The paladin raises a finger to you.
Muted. You're muted, Bo.
I am the leader,
Oh,
this chapter of the Paladins of the Umbilical Order, and you are found wanting in violation of the Principal's order for us to preserve the Chrome Cord. You shall now kneel or die.
Damn.
It takes too many clicks to go back and forth. Oh wait, I could just mute. Hang on, I forgot.
Hello, I think I can just mute, right? Hello? Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
we can hear you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
no.
Nope. Nothing.
Nothing.
He broke it. He ended it.
Oh, shit.
All right,
Paladin never spoke
where I was able to
again.
just turn it on and off without having to go through all the settings each time, and I don't know how I did that. So, yeah.
No stress. It's all good.
But anyways, I think I can fix it. Hang on. But regardless, he points to the party, declaring his intent to fight. Does the party wish to do anything?
Have we broken combat since last time? Are we still in initiative
Yeah.
order?
We've broken combat.
Okay.
We'll start a new combat.
And
roll for when
Nash has righted himself, right? He's slowed himself down and is no longer hurling to the south west.
Yeah, you
Okay.
you sort of have to stabilize yourself. Like you have some momentum, but you're floating about. But they're approaching as they speak. They do approach you, so it's within a matter of seconds. Maybe 10 seconds. They'll be upon you. At least they'll be upon Varel for combat. Stanley and Hope from their vehicle can see what's occurring from their vantage. So I will place you here, and I'm just going to place people in places that make a little more sense.
What happened to the metal man so long ago? Did he explode?
The metal man.
Which
Which metal man?
Metal man.
I know we heated up his armor and beat him
Oh.
up a lot, and
And Tedna got out of the car.
didn't he predator himself?
I remember he self-destructed it. Yeah, he predated himself, but before he did, a glowing orb shot out of his armor and then went beep, 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 and floated off like a UFO style.
Okay. Is,
All right,
as Stanley and Hope come to a stop in their half a car?
Or are we
Uh-huh.
still momentuming across the desert?
No, she's pulled up behind it and come to a stop.
Okay.
But you're some distance away from Varel, who's the closest to who's closest to the enemies.
And what about the other cars? And
There's still Liberator vehicles driving all around, facing the wall, ensuring chaos ensues. But the Goblin hordes are fighting at the walls, and the Liberators have moved to support them. But we're still talking in seconds. So you guys were just coming fresh off the fight with the Slow Peters, and so everyone's still in battle mode. We're talking second. They jumped down immediately when the Slow Peters died to engage you.
Obviously Metal Man has range weaponry because we fought him before. What about the Kuromo Kishi he's rolling with?
Yeah, so the Kuromu Kishi, one by one, unsheathed their weapons as soon as they landed. The majority of them carry a katana and wakizashi, but they also have blunderbusses upon their hip. But the blunderbusses look like they're for short range combat. Like they're not. I don't know to what extent Varel's there, but these are like old school looking guns that aren't precision range weaponry. Two of the Kuromo Kishi don't have katanas and wakizashis. Two of them actually have very small maces. They're flails, I should say, like long chains attached to a stick, and they both start spinning in the back. They both start spinning those up.
Okay. and he has asked me to kneel for him.
Yes, he says kneel or die.
Oh boy. How tall is he, Bo?
I mean,
Height?
height-wise, he's about 9 to 10 feet. He's very tall in this giant suit of armor. He stands a little bit taller than Varel.
Can Hope get on the intercoms?
Sure.
All right, she's gonna see if she can't get the other cars that are still going to run over the Kuroma Kishi.
Start running them over.
Might as well use the cars while we have them, right?
Okay, so you relay that information, and you hear because only the squadron leaders have them. It's not the entire militia that has earbuds. They're rare, and we're only given to commanders. However, the nameless one is the leader of the Liberator faction, so you relay that message to him, so he's aware of it. So, and he responds. He says, "I will make an attempt to silence these misguided orcs." Him being an ex-Kuroma Kishi.
That's fair. I guess he would have beef with them. Cool.
Traitors
Hope
to
will...
our kind they are.
Beef.
My mom would always do, but where's the beef filling? With...
Yeah, that's it. As you say this,
beef.
as you say this tactical instruction to the nameless orc, and the nameless orc responds, Nash says beef over the intercom.
Beef. Yep.
And while Hope does that, she'll start wheeling the vehicle around, and as soon as it comes to a stop, she'll get out.
All right, perfect. So you get out. Yeah, and combat is about to ensue. So if there's any, I guess what I would say, let's put the car where I think it would make the most sense for it to be. So right down here. So you're behind, as you intended, behind the slow Peter, and Stanley's down there too. We gotta rotate your tokens. They look weird. Yeah, so you'd be starting in that position. Varel, you're there. Nash, you're there. So Varel, they're going to start slowly encircling you. So it's just any preparations that you would want to have prior to starting this combat. We have the nameless orc who's agreed to run over some of these orcs here. Anything else anyone wants to do?
Stanley's gonna get out of the car like he's taking cover, but he's actually gonna start casting a spell. But I figured that's gonna take enough time where combat will probably engage before it happens.
Do you want to ready an action of some kind?
I mean, he's casting polymorph on himself.
Okay, all right. So you're just gonna do it your first turn in combat, or do you?
I mean, he would start it now,
trigger...
but I'm assuming combat's going to kick off at the same time. But yeah, basically Stanley is going to get out like he's just getting out of the car, and he is going to polymorph himself into a giant ape. And then if you will allow for flavor, instead of the rock throw ability, can I throw the car? The half a car?
Yeah, hang on. Okay, so good call here. I just want to see the casting time on it, just to see...
Well, I mean, that'll be his turn. I think the polymorph is I think there's a turn to change. I don't know if I can take an action immediately.
So combat hasn't started yet because we're doing the cinema-like, exchange of words prior to battle starts, right? The Kuroma Kishi are inching forward. The Paladin is walking determinately at the front towards Varel. So you're not in combat, so, you could totally just initiate combat immediately by doing this before waiting for your turn. That's where I'm just trying to get the the cast time is an action. So okay, you're just gonna do that immediately. All right. Yep. So everyone else, your time's up.
Wow. All right.
So describe yourself transforming into your giant ape, complete with sound effects.
So seeing Hope get out of the car, Stanley steps out and kind of does like a little step back, and then just mutters and waves his hands, and then just immediately and just grows to a massive size and starts beating his chest and roaring at the Kuroma Kishi, and then puts one hand on the top of the half a car, just kind of palming it and bending the metal inward under his hand.
Okay, so you're gonna throw it at who? Who's your target?
So he's going to throw it at the nearest one. He'd just go whoever's the closest. And so basically, I would move within range. I think it's a 50-foot range on the attack. Let me just double check that to be sure. Yes, 50 feet for the throw. I'm within range where I'm at. So yeah, so he's just gonna reach down, grab it, and they have an ability called Rock. I just want for flavor the Rock to be half a car. Unless you want to change it, but I mean, I'm willing to just say like it's one of his attacks. I just flavor wise, I think it's cooler to throw a car than a rock. I found.
Yeah, no, I'm on board with car throwing. Just gonna look at the rock. Right. Okay. So it would be to lift the car. We would have to do a strength check or an
Okay.
athletics check. So you do get +9 to your athletics roll as a giant ape. And your relative strength is like a giant ape strength is 23. So I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll be fine. But you got to make the roll.
Okay. And I think does the mask advantage still apply?
The mask advantage.
Yeah. Because Stanley has advantage on everything he tries to do at the moment.
Wait. Sorry, you're talking about the Mask of Elton 4?
Yeah.
Peer into plurality? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're still the same brain.
So
Yeah, you, in your mind, so as you peer into the plurality of what's transpiring, you actually see what would happen if you threw it at Nash. What would happen if you threw it, at the goblins or at the wall? Like you peer into possibilities, and so you get advantage on what is a favorable course.
Okay, so I rolled a 12 plus 6. That's what, 18 for the strength check?
It's
Or wait,
9.
for athletics, it's +9.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'd be 21, right?
All right. Yeah. So you lift up the cart easily in your hand and you fling it.
Right.
And the Kuromo Kishi and the rest of them immediately react. They do get to react to dodging out of the way with a dexterity saving throw.
The ability, the rock throw is just an attack roll.
An attack roll. Right. This is where it gets a little weird. I mean, a big car they can see. So who are you targeting with the car?
I am targeting this guy. The nearest Kuroma Kishi.
All right, so he won't be able to dex save it since we'll do the attack roll. But the ones in the vicinity, because it is half a car, they're gonna jump out of the way. All right.
Okay. Yeah, that's
so
fine.
Make your attack roll, and I'll make my dex saves for the ones in the vicinity.
It's an 18 plus 9 for the attack roll to hit. I'm gonna guess that probably hits.
Let's see. Where's my Kuromo Kishi?
That's 27, right? Yeah.
20. Sorry, it's a 27 hit. Yeah, you're good. You're good on the hit.
Okay. And so damage for rock is 7d6. All right, that will be +6. So that's 26 points of bludgeoning damage.
26 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay, perfect. Then so you fling the car out at the Kuromo Kishi. The remaining ones along the side sort of dodge out of the way. They sidestep. The Kuromo Kishi stands, plants both feet in the ground, and braces himself to take it. And as he drops the sword and holds his hand out in an attempt to catch the car. As you fling it, it hits him, and he's not able to catch it. So it hits him in the chest and pins him underneath the car. Ah! You hear come from the from the body underneath, and then you see the arms flail around as he tries to lift the car from underneath himself. Combat has started. The car flinging has begun. I need initiative rolls from everyone, please.
$16 for me, for Nash.
16 for Nash.
Yep.
18 for Hope.
15 for Stanley.
15 for Stanley. Okay. 18 for Hope.
15 for Varel. But Stanley can go first since he's rocking.
Okay, we'll do that.
So Nash, you actually are ahead of Varela and Stanley for once. It's
How is
insane.
that even possible? It's insane.
I rolled very bad.
All right. Well, I'm going to go then.
Nope, you're not first. The Kuroma Kishi are first.
Oh, sorry. I'm just before them in the order. Got
Yeah,
it.
you're before them, but you still have the orcs and Hope ahead of you. So the orcs begin to move towards you, to Varel. The two with the so I'm going to move the car here, the whole car that's really half a car, pitting that guy down. The two flail orcs, they flail around the chain around them, doing these like sort of choreographed moves, and then they both spin them up in the air, and then they kick really hard, like they do this like side Liu Kang kick as they kick the head, and it reaches out really far in an attempt to grapple you. We're gonna have to make a strength contest, please,
Okay.
as they begin wrapping around your arms.
28.
Okay, first one is okay. So first contest you win. 22 versus 28. We need a second contest for the second one.
Okay. 28.
28. All right, and that's a versus an 18. So they attempt to they wrap around your arms, but your movement is unrestricted. It will be unrestricted as you move, but they are wrapped around your arms. You are just not grappled. The remaining Kuroma Kishi move in as the one nearest you picks up their walk into a run with their swords, and then launches into the air and does a flying jump kick at your face. For 23 to hit.
Is a hit.
Okay, so let's get some jump kick damage going. That would be 15 points of bludgeoning as the foot comes connecting with your face.
I am outside of my rage right now, so I take full.
Okay, perfect. So this flying jump kick hits you right in the face. The second Kuroma Kishi right on the other side also jumps up, flips up, and then brings down his swords upon you, both wakizashi and katanas, for 2 attacks against you. First one is a 21,
Hit.
and the second one is a 21.
Both hit.
All right, so we're gonna roll some katana damage. All right, 11 points of slashing for the first one, and 8 points of slashing for the wakizashi. Wakizashi or wakazashi? Waka waka. As they both go down. So those are the two there. The orc pinned under the car attempts to lift up the car. He's going to do an athletics check on his turn, and he hasn't been able to pick up the car yet from him. This one here circles around the vehicle. 3, 4. And doesn't oh no, actually he goes to circle around and sees the giant ape and then bears down upon the giant ape and bravely runs towards it. He goes, ah! And from here, John, he initiates a flying jump kick towards the ape.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so it's
He
gonna
has
be
disadvantage. Just
oh, okay. The roll was already gonna be a miss, so
Okay.
But yeah, it was good to know. I rolled the single dice was enough. So as he flies up, he attempts to kick you. It hits your ape face, and your ape face just turns around like completely unaffected as he lands on his feet gracefully in front of you, but you take no damage.
Does Hope get an opportunity attack?
From the No, because he's still in your vicinity. Opportunity attack is if
when they leave. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Got excited.
But yes, your blades thirst. All right, and then Nash, the Kuromokishi nearest you sees you floating to cause trouble, and then jumps up in an attempt to grapple you to the ground. Grapple contest, Nash.
Great.
As he runs and jumps at you.
Awesome strength. I did all right. I rolled a 19.
Oh shit! You he goes to jump up at you, and you do a move you've been practicing with your thermal underwear DNA, and just do a slight little Jedi dodge as he misses and lands on the ground behind you. He goes in frustration that you actually bested him when he's clearly your physical superior. He got owned pretty bad by your dodge.
Sweet.
The other Kuromokishi runs up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he just sort of instead of taking the flying jump approach, he runs up underneath you, takes out his blunderbuss, and shoots up your robe.
Damn.
Oh man.
Try and shoot you down for a 21.
Well, that definitely hits. The question is, what does it hit? My gosh.
Well,
don't worry, you don't have a lot down there, man.
You're
Not a lot to hit.
I got a tender
There must be
butthole.
some general damage. There's nothing sensitive there. 7, 8, 9 plus the modifier. So you take 13 points of piercing damage as a blunderbuss blast hits your nethers from below.
Sweet. Okay.
All right. And that would be the Kuromokishi. Hope, it is now your turn.
Okay, with the one right there, she's going to start attacking him. So, with her 3 attacks.
With what weapon?
Her +2 rapier.
Okay.
First one is a 17.
Okay, it's a hit.
All right.
Oh, no, it's a miss. It's a miss. Sorry. Miss.
Oh. Oh.
The rapier comes out in the head. There's a quick, almost like a third sense. He doesn't even look at you. He just moves his head out of the way.
Okay, that's pretty high. 25 then.
That one hits.
Okay. $14 damage.
Okay, what type of damage? Sorry, it's a piercing, right?
Yes, piercing.
All right, perfect. You do 14 to him. You poke a little bloody hole in him, and blood spurts out as the rapier goes in, and rapier comes out, and a little jet of blood flies out with it.
Awesome. All right, and last regular attack.
Okay.
24.
24 is a hit. Yes. He thought he was clever dodging the first one, and then you followed up with two
off.
solid pokes.
15 damage for this one.
15 damage. All right, let me make sure. Yeah. All right. Cool. 15 damage for this one, so that totals 29 damage on him. All right, you put 2 little holes in.
All right, cool. So seeing that he's basically going to be up against Giant Monkey Stanley, Hope is going to take off and get about halfway to Varel, then chuck up diplomacy into the air and say parlay, and send it the 30 feet to go stab one of the Kuromokishi fighting Varel.
Okay. Are you moving at all, or just doing it from that position?
She's moving, so he can take that opportunity attack.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking for. All right, so move your character, and I will give you control of the diplomacy here, which is the sword hanging out right here. Okay, so he's going to take his opportunity attack. So as you stab twice, and a hand reaches out, looks at you, attempts to take a swing. 19.
Miss.
All right, so he takes a swipe, misses, as a giant ape looms over him, looking on with even more delight. All right, so you send out freaking
Diplomacy.
Yeah.
I have to remember too.
You set up diplomacy. You can make an attack roll on the turn you use your bonus action. As the same part. So I think so. When you do use a bonus action, toss the magic sword.
Yeah.
The sword itself attacks one creature, so you get a roll on that guy.
So an 18.
It's a miss.
All right, cool.
As you send the sword out, that one also with like a sixth sense about it, their situational awareness, just steps out of the way, just gracefully and very slightly, causing the sword to fly past him.
All right, that's Hope's turn.
All right, Nash, you're up.
Okay, I am going to rise up some with some movement.
Rise up.
Rise up. And these two chuckleheads below me, the one that shot me up the hooter and the other one that's near there,
Yeah.
both of them are going to experience... Oops, I stuck in the wrong one. There it is. They're both going to experience Stinking Cloud.
Okay.
And here's what that sounds like. Wait, I better wait till I roll. So, here's what you got to do. It's a concentration spell. You have to do a concentration. Oh yeah, so I get it no matter what. It hits no matter what. It's just you have to do a concentration thing. As
yeah,
to
you
what
create a
happens.
20-foot radius sphere of yellow, nauseating gas centered on a point within range.
Yeah.
So, because we're dealing with 3D, where's the point? Is it on you? Is it on the ground?
It's on the ground below me. So
I guess what I'm asking, you want it to rise up the full 20 feet, right?
Yeah, I don't want to be within its. I don't want to be in the Stinking Cloud, but I want to give it to them.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, each creature, so that would include yourself, that is completely within the cloud at the start of its turn must make a Constitution saving throw against poison. On a failed save, the creature spends its action turn retching and reeling.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott,
Creatures-
you can hang out in that cloud. You're immune to poison right now.
Oh, that's right. Never mind
Creatures
then. I
that
don't
don't need
care.
to breathe
I'll just
or
stay
need to
there
po-
then. I'll just
Yeah, and it even says creatures that don't need to breathe or are immune to poison automatically succeed.
Sweet. I'll just suck it in. That's awesome. All right, here comes. I'm gonna do it now. Give it a sec. It's a long spell. Hold on, there's more. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. All right, there you go.
You need to hold your hand through this, man. Come on, you got it.
You have to hold my hair back. All right, so I do that,
So
and then
good.
you
All
guys
right.
need to do your Constitution saving
Well,
throws.
first I have to put something on there. So it's 20 feet, right?
Mhm.
10, 15, 20.
Yeah.
I wish your roll 20 animated. This is an animating asset.
For sure.
But
Oh, there's a little bit left. Sorry, I had to let that part out. We're
20
good.
feet, so that's actually 20 feet. It might look a little small, but the center point there.
Okay. Oh, I don't actually see it. Why? Why don't I see it? I don't know why I don't see it. But it's fine though.
Yeah, it's too bad. All right, but there's a stinking cloud. It looks like you shit and made a giant pool.
Sweet.
It's kind of what it looks like, but it's a stinking cloud. There it is. Concentration saves.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Con 17
Isn't
or
it
better.
on the start of their turn? Or
What's-
is it
what's
the
the
start of the
DC?
spell?
Oh, good point. So the concentration is a 17.
Oh, it's at the start of its turn. Yeah.
Oh,
It's at
okay,
the
so you don't do it
Doesn't
yet.
happen right away. Yeah. So all you've effectively done is just shit yourself at this point magically. But okay, great, good one. Any other moves you want to make?
No. Although
It's a great move. It's a great move.
I
They'll
will-
be in their turn at some point.
I will move up maybe a little just to stay out of grapple range or grabby range or something. So I'll go up another.
Okay, yeah. So you are flying high enough that you won't get an opportunity attack because you
Okay.
floated. Like they had to jump up and get at you.
All right.
so.
All right. Perfect. Yep. That's
So
it then.
you want to move somewhere? Move your guy.
No, I'm good. I'll stay there. I want to see them retch and have problems.
Okay. I will enjoy this. All right. So, having done that, we move now to the paladin's turn, and the paladin speaks.
You, lizard man, you will join your brethren in enslavement to our kind. The chrome cord shall not break.
All right, and then he raises both of his hands towards you, and he begins powering them up. And laser light emanates from both of his hands onto you. Gonna make attack roll here. So The first hand is a 16, and that is not going to hit. I know. So the lasers begin piercing, not piercing, but attempting to pierce your scales as these laser lights glow and warm your bodice, and you're like totally unaffected by it. But they are like there's this like powerful ray spilling into your chest from both of his hands as he attempts to subdue you with whatever weaponry is at his beck and call. And that brings us to your turn, Varel.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
This is fantastic.
Yes, nothing could be better. I've got the one in my face that has the double or the katana. You mentioned 2 that had chains upon my arms. Where is the second one? Are they both in melee here?
So the flail guys are the guys you see in the back. So this guy here and this guy here. I think I marked them flail with the names. These 2 are the 2 that attempted to jump attack you, and you have 5 on you. The paladin standing before you as well.
I see. Okay. Well, in my best Warlords of Draenor,
Nice.
Varel will yell, "The lizards will never be slaves!" And poof, enter his rage, pop out the aura as he basically walks into the laser, still maintaining in the range of the 2 melee. So just kind of chest forward, Superman style, walking it down. And that'll be a aura pop immediately to those in the area.
So everyone 3 damage.
Let me see if it's gone up over time. Where are we at? Where are we at on the old aura pop?
File flame aura, right? It's storm. Oh no, you're at storm aura,
4.
right?
We're at 4 damage now.
Oh, 4 damage. All right, so passive 4 damage all around as whoosh whoosh whoosh. You ignite is it how many feet? Let me go back here. Sorry, just to make sure. It's 20, or has it gone up?
10 feet. I'll put up a little aura on my character here.
Oh, I appreciate that very much. All right, so it doesn't appear to do any damage to the paladin as the flame just sort of licks its armor. However, you definitely see fire, like skin bubble, on the 2 orcs nearest you.
And
as they take 4.
Is he still currently lasering?
Yes, he's still currently lasering as you take this turn. He's like Iron Manning with his laser, trying to like saw into you somehow. But your carapace is your chitinous scales are not permitting any purchase to this laser.
Would you let me grapple him to push apart his hands and thereby split the laser on the 2 Kuromukishi standing next to me?
Oh, hell yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Would I let you? I mean, we have to take it to the dice.
I'll roll with disadvantage to make this.
Of course.
But yes, this... will I? Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
All right. 25.
25. All right, it's a contest. I got to contest it up with the contest guy. Math. It's a math phase. You win.
All right.
So the you take you grapple, you like put your hand upon both hands, and you're like, do you say anything as you do this?
Oh no, this is like snout down, kind of staring him in the eyes.
Oh, okay.
Blast me in the chest for no damage. Just grab his fists and start pushing them apart so they're firing over my shoulders into the 2 nearby dudes.
Okay, so you start pushing them apart, and they are now blasting the dudes. We will resolve that damage at the start of their turns. So the lasers are currently firing into the orcs. I will make a note about laser resolution at the start of their turn order.
What a great
as well as stinking cloud resolution.
Laser resolution.
Yep.
Cool sound.
As you move the lasers into them. Anything else?
That's everything for me.
All right. So, yep. And everyone sees this, especially Giant Ape Stanley, as you watch upon a giant ape form, Varel perform this. But you have your own samurai orc before you.
Yeah, so watching him having taken a swing at Hope walking away, the giant ape just leans down and breathes heavy on the back of his neck. And then as he turns, he's just gonna go bop bop, both fists down, and just try and pound him into the sand.
All right, let's do that.
All right,
your
so
attack rolls.
First attack has a natural 20.
Oh snap! All right, well, run roll that damage.
Yeah, let me get that. What's the fist? It's
fist is 3d10 plus 6.
So we'll do 6d10.
Yeah, you get 6d10 plus 6 plus 12 plus 12.
I think just 6.
No, it's just 6. You don't double the dice. It double the modifier.
So
wow.
That's 44 points of damage for the first punch.
Okay. Let's see what the next one does.
And then he punches him again.
Get him.
Did that roll 2? I only see that rolled 1d20.
Actually, I gotta take it back to the math here, math face, because I may have made a miscalc. You do not need to make that next attack roll.
Oh, okay, he's done.
Yeah. Now, do you want to describe his slaughter, or shall I?
I think the first punch that just comes down, he slowly turns around, looks up, and the giant fist comes down, and there is just the crushing sound of metal, a puff of dust, and it's just blood and chrome on the sand.
Yeah, there's just a pool of blood and orc skin. And it pools up in the sand and clumps and as such immediately.
And then immediately just seeing him done, Giant Ape Stanley is going to run and leap and land on top of the car that the other orc is.
He definitely makes
under.
a sound when he leaps, right?
Yeah, he just and he gets up there and he just looks down at the orc that's pinned. Do I get to take the other attack, or is a multi-attack only against one target?
The multi-attack, it's not extra attacks, but yeah, you'd make 2 fist attacks. I would, if I was the DM, if I was DMing this, you'd get a second attack, so yeah, do
okay. If you're the DM, I'll let you be the DM right now. Then we'll do it.
I'm just saying, if I was running this monster and he attacked 2 different creatures, that would be fine.
So I'll use the roll that I had already used for him rather than re-roll it. Best hit was a 23 to hit.
You get advantage on the hit because he's pinned.
Yeah, I already rolled with advantage. I got a 23 and a 10. Actually, it's more than that because I forgot to add the 6. But
so that's a hit. Roll your damage dice.
Okay.
That's 3d10 plus 6, right?
Yep. 3d10. Why isn't it showing me that? Okay, that's going to be 27 points of damage. And on this one, he just hits the car and just smashes it down further into him, into the pinned one.
All right. Okay. So, you just hit the car. So you smash the car, and you hear "Oh!" as the car actually sinks into his chest, partially severing his torso. But he is not dead.
Ugh. Gross.
All right, that will be Giant Ape Stanley's turn.
Okay. All right. Next, as you do this, so everyone's in their own combats. The nameless orc, having received Hope's instruction, makes a beeline for some of the orcs. Now there's cars everywhere. It's not really true to what the actual occurrence is because I'm not simulating cars moving every second on this map. It would be too long. A car immediately sort of Nash as you're admiring your stinking cloud, the nameless orc being in the vicinity. You turn around and you just see a Liberator vehicle, engine going loud, running for the orcs underneath you. He's going to make a piloting check. All right, and it's going to be contested versus their dexterity saving throws. Oh, we got a 1 for one of them. As the vehicle, he drives through both of them, and both of them hit the car and go flying, taking massive damage. Okay, so they each take 36 points of bludgeoning damage. And basically, as they're just contending with the stinking cloud, the vehicle drives through them. They attempt to dodge out of the way. One gets hit and spins, boo, and just hits the ground, still stuck in your stinking cloud. The other one flies up into the air, out of the cloud, but then also takes some fall damage in addition to the impact damage. Hitting the ground for an additional it's 1d 12 damage. It's 40 for a total of 48 damage. Okay, one of them hits there, and that's the nameless one. And additionally, also having been given instruction, the jeweler comes driving around as well with the cars and makes an attempt on the flail guys with the car as well, so he's going to have a piloting check. Oh shit, that's a natural 20 for his piloting check.
Man, Swear Engine can drive.
Yeah. Well, it's a skill check, so it's not double any damage, but he gets a 20, so he's going to get an auto hit on both of these guys as he drives over both of the flail dudes. Deal 23 damage each to them as they get railed by the cars. Railed by this car. Now, Varel, as this happens, they're holding on to the flails, and so you're going to have to make a strength saving throw in order not to be also pulled, like to have your whole shit get screwed up, because now the two flail guys, they're not grappled onto you, but it's just going to affect you still. So let's get a strength saving throw, see what happens.
All right. 29.
29. All right. So what ends up happening is nothing. The additional strength, like they get pulled over, they're holding on to dear life for on the flails, and you're just like not even budged by it. Just as part of picturing the scene as they get run over. Boom. It is now the Kuromukishi's turn. So we have some resolutions to do. We got one stinking cloud resolution. So it's a Constitution saving throw, right, Nash?
Yes, that is correct. 17.
And it's the 17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's just as he gets hit by the car, at the same time as he's railed by the nameless one's car, he also lets out a giant barf wave. As he's spinning around, and there's like when you spin something full of water and it makes like water waves. So there's this giant barf wave that's also happening, as well as shit is coming out of his pants. As
Why
he just
not?
Why not? I mean, imagine getting hit by a car in a stinking cloud. That's what would happen. It would really.
Sure.
You can't control your bowel at the moment you're getting hit by.
Why not? Why wouldn't
not?
that be?
Yeah. So the organ barfs and shits itself. Nash, you need to make a dexterity saving throw because the barf is splashed up and reaching you, and you need to dodge it. It won't do any damage, but it is not desirable.
Okay. You said Dex?
Dexterity saving throw, please.
20. Not natural.
All right. So you managed you do these little micro maneuvers as pellets of barf and shit fly up, and you successfully dodge all of them. And I imagine Nash is up there laughing at this in some sick, twisted way. All right. So that's the stinking cloud. Now, does anything else happen? He's poisoned. Oh yeah, and he's poisoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you do.
So imagine getting hit by a car and poisoned at the same time. That's a sucky situation.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
I mean, of the things you want, that is not one of them, for sure.
All right. We'll put a little poison symbol on him. Now we... I just saw the slow Peter faces. They're hilarious. All right, so the Kuromukishi next to you that firing, we got to do the laser resolution now as well. So we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do attack. Well, they're auto hits. You've hit them by moving the laser into them. They're gonna take this lasering damage. Let me just look up the rail beam or solar hand beam. Sorry. Okay. So it is 13 points of fire damage onto each of them, and it stays connected on them it'll continue at the start of their turns so long as they don't move out of the way. So as they're getting hit, They move out of the way of the lasers. Ooh. Okay. And what we need to do now is I think I actually need to draw some lines here. So let me get some laser lines going. I should have kind of maybe drawn them first. Oopsies. Oh shit. That's wrong. They would be there, so like... Oh no! That's a polygon.
Can't have that.
Sorry guys, one sec. I got a map maintenance.
You're all good.
Okay. Where is the line? There we go. So one laser. Oh, I did it again. This is retribution for saying John couldn't use this. In the heat of the moment, I can't use it. All right, there we go. So because he moved out of the way, Hope, you're now in the path of the beam. Just FYI, that's what I wanted to sort of look at. So they move out of the way, and then they circle around and attempt to... one sort of dances around the laser light towards your back and attempts to provide 2 stabs to your backside, Varel. I have a 20. The 20 is a hit for you, right?
I do currently have a shield equipped, the +2 shield.
Yeah, whatever your AC is your AC. So
Sweet, 20.
So 20, but 20, like that's a hit though. If you hit the number, you hit, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you got me. I tried. All right, that is the 14 slashing damage, and then an additional 6 slashing damage. All right, have you marked that down? Then the other Kuromokishi moves behind you, and puts his blunderbuss up to the back of your head and takes a shot. Now it's with disadvantage because ranged weaponry at this close range is there. So he attempts to take a shot. You get you feel this bang on your head as the bullet hits your back and does no damage. And this tactic did not work against you, although presumably he thought it would work, but it does not, as it hits you in the back. The 2 Kuromokishi that got run over by the jeweler with the flails in the back, one of them pulls out a second flail. He has more than one. He pulls out a second flail, and as he gets knocked down, he puts it onto the back of the hubcap of the jeweler's vehicle, and is now getting dragged. And he's sort of making an athletics check as he pulls himself up onto the back of the jeweler's vehicle and goes pursues the jeweler on his vehicle. The other Kuromokishi as well, having been knocked over, also sees that they've been assailed by vehicles and moves into takes out another flail, and attempts to grapple it onto the nameless orc's vehicle, and does so, and is getting dragged as well. All right. Perfect. But that one was farther away, required a higher skill shot. He's not connected there. Okay, that gives us all the Kuromokishi move. Oh no, there's the ones under you, Nash. So the one that's barfing and spitting. You fight without honor! He says below as he moves up, and he takes his sword in desperation and throws it at your nether region as you float above him.
Great. Great.
It's 14.
Does he do that with disadvantage given all of his problems, or is he?
Well, he's poisoned. That doesn't give him disadvantage. The spell that you cast does not bestow.
But imagine going and then trying to throw a thing at the same time, man. What a rough day.
Well, yeah, it does. A poison creature has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the poison status. Thank you. Let me review this. Yep. Okay. Well, so 14 would have been a hit, right?
14 would have been a hit.
Okay. So I rolled a 26 for the
Shit.
other roll, so I don't take that one. I take the 14.
Yep.
So
It's a hit either
We
way.
tried. We
Yep,
tried.
I did
Scott.
my mistake on the poison.
You're gonna get
for
a
sure.
sword in the taint either way.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the sword flies. And taint no party like a
Taint
katana.
party. Yep.
Katana in the crotch party. So 50, not 50. It's actually only 8 points of damage as the katana sinks it, like its tip sinks into somewhere in there. You're not quite sure where, and you're like, "Uh oh." Your brain just goes, "Uh oh."
I should have moved. I don't know why I didn't move.
And then the orc, having thrown that up in sort of this twisted rage, moves out of the way of the stinking cloud, and then just spends the rest of his turn ralphing.
Wow. Fantastic.
All right. There's another Kuromo Kishi who got hit by the car. He has to get up, but he made it out of the poison cloud. But he attempts to run up and jump and do a grapple jump on you.
What was it? Sorry,
Again.
the damage from the last guy? I don't think I got that from you.
9, I believe.
9, was it? Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
9 slashing,
Piercing,
but obviously
slashing.
been pierced.
Yeah.
So grapple contest with the other guy, please.
All right. Here comes. Come on.
You can either use
Oh, I can
dex
use...
or strength. You can use athletics
Oh.
or acrobatics
Oh, really? Oh.
to
Well,
dodge.
Athletics
your
or
dex is better.
acrobatics? Oh, they're the same. All right. Let's just do
Just for flavor, then.
I'll do athletics. Here we go. Oh, dang it. Well, it's a 10. It was a 14 as a strength, and then I rerolled as a 10. You can choose.
You
I got
know
a
what I just
24.
realized, Bo?
What?
If they fail the Constitution save in the cloud, they spend their action retching and reeling.
Oh.
So he couldn't have thrown the sword.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Right,
right. Look, man.
Let's put those 9 points right back where they belong in my
I was
chode.
looking to see what happens if you go into the cloud, and I saw that.
I forgot
instead.
about that. On the failed save, the creature spends its action that turn retching and reeling. Okay. all right. Right. We cycle it back. That was just something that Stanley was imagining in the realm of plurality. That maybe if he
There you go.
If he-
Yeah,
if
he had a
say-
little smile, little monkey smile on his
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
like what Stanley's doing now in this Doctor Strange realm of possibilities is he's fantasizing about various parts about where Nash could get messed up, and he's getting some minor amusement in between doing things in the real world. And yeah, that's one of those things.
Sure.
All right. So, yep, it doesn't happen, and the Chroma Kishi doesn't move, so he's actually still barfing and puking. And he's going, "You are without order! You fight without order!" But the other one does jump grapple you, and you now have an orc. You're floating above your stinking cloud with an orc bear hugging you in a samurai orc bear hugging you in the sky.
Nice.
Okay, is that all the orcs here? Yeah, this guy's dead.
There's the one under the car, if he can do anything.
Yep, so he's going to... Well, now the DC on this is insane, because he doesn't only have to lift a car, but he has to lift a car with a giant ape sitting on it. Would he even do that? Or would he just desperately... he just doesn't have his weapons. You know what? He attempts to pull his upper half of the body free by ripping the rest of his body apart.
Do it.
Oh, that's pretty badass.
That's pretty metal.
I feel like we should let him live if he pulls this off. Not that he'd
Yep,
make it
he
very
does.
far.
He takes his strength, and with great anger, he meditates. He silences. You can see him just do the Rey Skywalker thing of silencing his mind. Do 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 do.
Gray would have been a lot cooler if she'd done
Yeah.
something like this in the movie.
No, that's even Star Wars.
And she has this Rey Skywalker. He has this Rey Skywalker moment, and his muscles ripple as he holds onto the car, and he goes, "Ah!" And half of his body rips out, and then he starts walking by hands as blood and guts drip out from underneath him.
Do I get an opportunity attack on the torso?
You do actually.
Feels
Please don't
mean.
hit him. I want him to live.
This feels mean.
I can't do all of that and not have him live. Kill him later.
Yeah, let him die.
That's a 19 to hit.
That's it.
Oh, it was actually a lot higher than that. I forgot to add anything to it.
Yeah, I figured you hit.
I'm sorry, Bo. That's gonna be 20 points of bludgeoning damage to the torso.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, wait. He took way more than that. 25. This guy only got hit by the car, and then you railed him last turn, right?
Yeah, he got hit by the car for, I think, 20-something. Then he got punched once for 20-something. Now he's getting punched for another 20-something.
Okay, I think he's at... Okay, so now 20-something. Okay. So you hit him. So describe how you hit him.
Well, I do have one question first, though. Is it just it would just be a fist attack, right? Just a singular. It wouldn't be the multi-attack, right?
It would be the multi-attack. No, isn't fist multi-attack?
It says multi-attack.
Oh no, sorry, not for an opportunity attack. It's
right.
One attack. Yeah, it's a reaction. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, you only get multi-attacks on your turn when you use an action.
So seeing him scramble away, Giant Ape Stanley, in reaction to it, would just kind of take a swing at him, like, stop that, and just kind of bop him one as he's scrambling away on his hands.
You bop him in sheer will, and one lagging hit point remaining. On 1 hit point worth of fuel, he is as you like. He was going fast, and then it's slow. After you bop him, it's like, and he goes kind of left and right a little bit as he walks off, and he doesn't manage to accomplish much else except getting away at this point. Kind of cowardly, actually, but kind of cowardly.
He has no honor. This half a orc,
but he's out of sort of fighting options at this point. Yeah, that brings us to Hope's turn, finally.
Okay, seeing Varel surrounded, she's going to run up behind the 2 orcs attacking him and unleash her 3 attacks on them.
Okay. Let's let it rip.
First one is a 24.
First one's a 24. I wanted to make you an offer. We'll accept this roll, but I wanted to make you an offer. If you're able to roll a 30 or higher on an athletics check, I'll let you knock their heads together and instantly kill them. I'm just throwing that out there. You have to be able to roll a 30, but if you can roll a 30 and impossible or higher, we could also do that.
It's a pretty good offer.
I can't.
We can make your dreams come true.
I couldn't roll a 30 on an athletics even if I got a 20.
That doesn't sound like the war cry of a champion.
+4. No, I know, but it would have to be a 30 or higher.
If you had some magical ability. Okay, it's fine. Let's do the attack rolls.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, I'm going to play it safe. I
might be confusing
way more damage to deal.
I might be confusing your strength with Varel's, but I know your rolls are insane as well. You get the high 20s all the time. Let's do attack rolls.
All right, the damage for this one is a 14.
Okay, that's perfect. I'll note that down. For the one on the right?
Yes.
14 it is.
All right, so this is cool because now with my fighter thing, an 18, 19, 20 is a crit. So I rolled an 18, and this is a 30 plus a 12. So let me roll
there's a 30.
But this is damage, right?
I know.
I can absolutely do 30 of damage.
I know.
All right, so let me do the damage here. There we go. So 19 damage for that one.
19. So you rolled, it's 40 something? Yeah, okay. 19. Okay, you got to keep rolling to hit him. I'll mark the 19 on him as we keep going.
All right, and this last one is an 18.
Okay, that's a crit as well.
Oh, I mean, not a
total?
natural 18. 18
Okay.
total, so a miss.
18. All right, roll. Oh, yeah, it is a miss. That's right. So you stab him twice as you run up to help Varel, and stab one of the orcs twice in the back.
And then she'll send diplomacy around to behind the paladin and start poking him.
Okay, let's get some piercing damage on him.
So this first one is there's only one, 26.
26. Okay, for the paladin. Yep, it's a hit.
Cool, 14 damage.
All right, 14 damage. So most of him is armor plated, but your rapier finds like a connected joint where like some metal wiring exists there, in a shoulder blade, and stabs in, and some electricity shocks the sword. You can kind of see the electricity fly through the dagger or through the rapier, but doesn't do no damage to the rapier. Okay, perfect. That is there anything else that you'd like to do?
That's it.
Okay, then we move along to Nash.
Okay.
So Nash, you have a samurai orc sort of bear hugging you at the moment as he's jumped up and tried to grab a hold of you. So he's sort of holding on to you, but he seems poised to force you down to the ground with his weight, and he might use his feet to kick you. It looks like he's going to hold on to you with the arms and then keep kicking you with his feet while grappled.
Are my hands free?
Your hands are they're like out, but you can still gesture with them. He hasn't restrained your hands. If we look at the grappled status here, your speed is 0. The condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated, and the condition also So I mean, you have disadvantage on certain things, but
All right. Well, I want to point blank him with something in the head. Is he helmeted? Not that it matters that much. Okay.
I mean, he is helmeted, yes, but it's like a samurai helmet, right?
Yeah. Okay, here's what we're going to do then. I'm going to chromatic orb him right in the temple. Right in the big orc temple.
Okay.
And
so
here's what I'm...
Something to keep in mind with if it's a ranged attack is you have disadvantage if it's within 5 feet on the roll.
This one says... Hold on.
But that might not be the case with chromatic orb. Ranged spell attack. Yeah, so you're going to roll with disadvantage on a ranged spell attack.
Ah, boo! Where's the other guy? On the ground?
He is on the ground, yes.
He's still alive?
He's barfing away.
Okay.
I mean, the guy holding you might fail his save and start retching and just drop on his turn.
Yeah,
They're
that's
floating
fine.
above the stinking cloud.
Oh, you're above the cloud. Well,
Oh.
give a minute. Lower
Yeah,
him
yeah.
down
You know
into it.
what? That's what we're gonna do. That's a good point.
Your movement
Give him
is
a little
0.
bit.
My movement is
Oh.
0? I can't float?
So the thing to do is, I know you're floating, but he's like, you're so distracted with being grappled that you can't really move around at this. It's part of the rules. If you're
Okay,
grappled,
fair
you can't
enough.
move.
If we, how far are we from the ground?
You're over 20 feet, so somewhere in the 25 to 30 range. You could unpucker your thermal underwear DNA and just fall to the ground.
This is what I was thinking. I mean, it's a bit
You
of
like
a
that
fall.
phrasing, John?
I didn't know how the thermal underwear flying worked until now, and now I completely
Yeah,
understand it.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a little muscle just to the right of the sphincter that puckers and
Yeah,
unpuckers.
it's a
That's how you.
little pucker unit there. All right, so here's what I'll do. I will release my pucker and fall the
Release the pucker.
20 feet, which I hope will be somewhat softened by me landing on this idiot that's holding me.
Okay, well, so now as you release immediately and you both begin falling, he's still going to have you grappled, so you're still going to have to break out, but the move was unexpected. I'm going to give you advantage on your roll versus his thing if you want to break the grapple, but you'll still be grappled if you hit the ground, but I'm giving you some benefit, some advantage.
Can I do that now, or do I have to wait for the next turn on movement?
we have to do it now. You can't wait till the next turn.
Okay, here
You're
we
gonna
go.
hit the ground on your turn.
All right, so I'll do a strength check because it's as good as anything.
Remember,
else
this
I-
is using an action to break a grapple.
right. That's totally fine. I just need to get this guy off. Plus, now he's down in the he's down in the dirt. Yeah. hey now. So he's down in the poo poo again, which will help. Hopefully. So here we go. With advantage. First one's a 13. Shit. 13's best I could do.
13 is the best you can do. Okay, so you attempt to break free as it's unexpected. His eyes go wide, and you look, and then you attempt to kick him off and jump out, and so you do end up breaking free somewhat. But then he grabs onto your robes and sort of pulls you back into the stinking cloud as you both fall in to green brown mist, and you both hit the ground together. That's it's gonna be a 30 feet fall, so we're gonna have to roll for some damage dice for you.
Thought it was 20. Not 20?
No, you were over
Well,
20.
you were over 20 feet,
Oh.
roughly. So because you're in the 20 to 30 range, I'm ruling 3 damage dice
Okay.
2 damage dice. So you're going to take 10 points of damage.
Okay.
And he's as well bludgeoning, and he's going to take 11 points of bludgeoning damage as you
right.
both fall.
Okay.
He's still got a hold of your like arm. Like he's not bear hugging you like he was before. But 11 points of damage. Let me see here. This guy was also hit by a car.
Please
and then
let
fell
us
to the
finish
ground.
him
So
off.
you know,
That'd be great.
59. Yeah, he's not quite dead, but as he hits the ground, you hear his bones break. As he's got a hold of you, he's like crack, crack, crack. As he hits the ground, and blood like just spurts out of his nose, as you can just only see his face through the mist of farts that surround you now.
All right. Sweet.
All right. Anything else you want to do for your turn? You
Now,
still have bonus
does
action and
does
movement.
I cannot
can't move, though.
I guess I'm
You
still
can't
so I can't move. Okay.
You can't move. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
it's
forgot.
fine. I'm good. I think that's all I can do.
All right. So the laser beams, seeing that, so the paladin of the umbilical order, Varel, seeing how both the orcs have moved out of the way of the lasers, and so is Hope, he stops the laser beam, and then seeing both of the orcs behind you, he then moves in to sort of do a pincer move and like crush you between them. So he just walks up, and he's going to make a grapple attempt with you on his arms. Let's do this.
All right. Grapple.
I've got a 22.
23.
Oh shit! So he moves up towards you, attempts to get the grapple in with the aid of the orcs behind you. Doesn't manage to do it. So he's pushing in, and his arms go out, and then you still grabbing a hold of his arms. You're still having this like arm battle, like as he attempts to do that. However, as you're grappling, he releases his plague rodents. Little capsules on his armor open up. And rats come running down and go tearing after your eyes to bite your eyeballs. First roll is a 14. And the second roll is a 10. So you now have 2 giant rats that have run down his arms, then down your arms, and are attempting to bite your eyeballs. And they have pus. Like they look like they've been bathed in infection, as they have all these sores and growths and like flesh things all over them, and you know if they bite you, there might be disease and you might be blinded, and they're obstructing your view. So they're now sitting upon your beak, biting your eyeballs. It is now your turn.
Cool. Last time Stanley went after me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Stanley,
I mean-
you go first.
Okay.
Yeah, we can just keep the order moving. Let's let Varel do his thing.
Well, first thing Oh no. Okay. Oh.
Are you debating a flame burst?
No, what I was hoping to do. Sadly, a flame burst is a bonus action, and so is my special bite attack, which I wanted to, since I'm blind, while I'm holding his hands, I can then go and like put his whole face in my mouth. So he has to, with his glass visor, be looking at the inside of my mouth while my tongue, grazes across the glass paneling.
Yeah. I love this visual.
I wish it was true, but sadly, flame bursting would hit the rats. So that's a good idea. Let's flame burst.
Let's flame burst the rats. Okay, perfect. So everything just takes flat 4. No save. It's just flat 4.
Yep, flat 4. Hope would take 2.
Hope you're taking 2 points of damage. The orcs
Make
behind
that
you.
1.
Well, you take it's 4.
Oh.
I already reduced it for you. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's
Wait,
2.
I thought it was default 4. Is it 8?
No. It's 4, but she has fire resist because she's in my aura and she's a tiefling.
Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, you're saying it wasn't your fire resist, it was my fire resist that
Yeah,
resisted.
my fire resist is better than your fire. Actually, she's had fire
Yeah.
resist longer than I have, so. she can-
Born with fire resist.
No,
You
it
only
counts. I
adopted
helped
the
you.
flame.
Yeah, no one cared. I got fire burst.
All right, so the fire bounces off the pallet and doesn't do anything. The 2 rats, however, burst into flames upon your brow. They're not dead, but they are on fire. So they're now flaming plague rats upon your eyeballs.
The 2 orcs behind me are still going.
The 2 orcs behind, yep, they're still going. Hope is helping with the backstabs, but everyone's trying to subdue you, basically. you have like the 2 flail orcs are gone, but you still have 2 orcs behind you trying to wrestle you down into submission, as well as this guy who's like you're having a arm wrist war with, basically.
Well, my hands are occupied anyway. And he's in full armor.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to get these rats off me.
You can use your action to shake your head really violently.
Well, I am immune to poison. There's a good chance the rats do poison.
Poison or disease, something in the Nash family of effects.
Oh, right. Diseased is usually like a weird custom effect that you don't have under conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really want to be diseased by a bunch of rats. Ah, tough choice. Okay, but I'm maintaining the grapple, which means the main man here isn't flying around shooting mini missiles and crap at everybody. So I'm gonna keep hand locked with my opponent here, and I will do what I originally intended. So I will transform my action into. Oh no, you know what? Well, actually, it doesn't have to be a bonus action, right? Yeah, that's only the Hungry Jaws special feature, which is a bonus action once per short rest. I can still make 2 attacks. Just with my mouth.
Yeah, bite him.
Maybe you could somehow. Look, before your vision was blurred, he is a metal man with he's a man in a metal house, and that visor is a door, and maybe there's a way to rip off the door with your teeth or something. Like, if you don't want to go for straight up attacks, you could potentially open the door to his metal home and put something in there.
Oh shoot! Would you let me? What I'd love to do is rip open his metal door and shove the rat in there.
Yeah.
But we're currently
Flaming
grappling
rat.
with our hands, so I figure my hands are occupied, which is why I'm questioning.
Yeah, your hands are occupied. You gotta.
Yeah.
But you might. How long is your tongue? I mean,
It's
I just don't think you want to.
to.
Yeah, okay.
Standard
'Cause
velociraptor.
maybe there's like
size.
a bite the helmet off, then grab the rat with your tongue and put it in there. Like, ugh. But no,
Yeah, I'm not.
that's probably too many turns.
Not that dexterous. So you know, if you'll let me, can I do a little head roll to try to bite a rat off my own face?
Yeah, like a little maneuver to make it lose its footing, and then
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. All right, that would be a. I would put that under sleight of hand, although this is sleight of head. But
Okay.
we're gonna put this. This is a sleight of head maneuver. I think this is dexterous. It's just I want to grant it some of your animal instincts because you are a lizard folk, so like you might have some way of doing that. But sleight of hand is a dexterity check, right? Yeah. You're less. You got to have some weaknesses, Pharrell.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah. I can't make this a straight up athletics or strength feat. This is a dexterous feat.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go for it. Let's see if I can
All
get a
right.
rat off my face.
All right, let me determine the DC, and you go ahead and make that roll.
Wiggle just right, and the just right's a 12.
No, I can't give that to you, man.
Okay.
Sorry. All right, as you attempt to bite it off, it loses it's like it's been trained. This rat for months has been taught to bite eyes, and it's savvy to your tricks, and actually skirts around your head in a big circle and attempts to bite your eye from a new angle. So he's a little more cunning than you had hoped.
Cool. I'm still happy with maintaining the grapple on the metal man.
Okay, perfect. And that grapple still continues. Stanley, you are standing upon a car watching a half bodied orc with 1 hit point saunter off.
What? By any chance, was the lower part of his body what was chromed at all? What was chromed on this orc?
This orc's chrome was on one of his arms.
Oh,
Ah,
not his
okay.
cod piece.
Well, I apologize, everybody. I'm still going to waste this turn and be not helpful at all. Giant ape Stanley, sometimes you just have to do what you have to do, is going to pull the lower torso out from under the car and hurl it at the escaping orc.
All right. It might not make sense to onlookers, but you've peered into plurality, and this is how we win. If you were to actually go help, you would set back the timeline. So you go ahead and you take his legs and you throw it at his upper body. Oh my god, you're sadistic, Stanley. I can't believe the elves made you their leader. What?
It's 25 to hit.
It's a hit. Describe how you slay the upper half of the orc from the bottom half.
So as he's just
He
doing
could have
his
left, and he could have been a villain in a future campaign with such an epic origin story, but nope, he dies here.
As he's just doing his little hand walks away, a very angry and upset that he didn't finish him off, Ape Stanley lifts the car a little bit, grabs these legs, and then what are they, the bolos or whatever? He just zips them out. You just see legs and torso spinning across the desert, and it wraps around the orc's neck, and he kicks himself in the face and collapses.
Yeah, that's exactly how it transpires. 2 halves of the orc body laying in the desert, and then a car runs over it.
Oh no! I will see. Maybe we can salvage some usefulness out of this turn. Is Ape Stanley able to try and leap onto this car to engage the other orc?
Which car? Sorry.
The jeweler, from this car to this car.
So I'm not doing the car simulation 1-to-1, but I'll allow. If you want to jump on top of the jeweler's car, okay, I'll allow.
All right. Ape Stanley's gonna jump on top of the car.
All right, so you're now on a moving vehicle, but the vehicle starts moving extra slow. Brrr, as it sinks into the sand. The jeweler's head pops out. He's like, "What the beep are you doing?"
That's it. That's my turn. That's
All
the whole
right.
thing.
So we move to the nameless one, who he's driven off with this orc on his back, and he's got to deal with that situation. He sort of exits combat. Jeweler also, he would have exited combat, but now his car's slowed down by the giant ape standing on top of it, and he just spends his turn yelling at the ape to get off the effing car because it's slowed down. So that brings us back to the Kuromukishi. So there's 2 Kuromukishi in the sickness sphere. Will they continue to be barfing? Let's find out when we come back from the break. We're at the halfway point. It's time for break. You guys will find out how much barf and vomitus will be part of this situation.
Very nice. I can't wait to find out how much barf will be involved when we come back. Everybody go pee, do your things, do whatever you got to do. We'll be back in about 10. We'll see you then. Okay. Oh, look at it's Alexander. Cute.
You're kind.
Oh my gosh, he's getting big. Oh, he's so cute. I can hardly stand it. I miss little tiny kids.
Yeah.
They were fun, man. Everyone always wants to talk about how they keep you up at night and, cost money or whatever. It was a time of my life. I loved it.
Well, you're gonna have some little grandkids soon. Well, you have one already.
Got
I guess,
one.
but
Got another one
there's gonna be
coming.
More?
In,
you need another one. Come on, kids, let's go.
We got get to coitus. I got I got another one coming in October. Same daughter, but this time a little girl, and then who knows after that? I don't know. But yeah, it's fun. I wish they were being born into a slightly better version of the world, but what are you gonna do?
We can be pessimistic, but maybe there is a better version coming.
There probably is.
Star Trek's starting soon.
There probably is.
We'll meet the Vulcans soon.
I'm a big believer in.
Although I guess the race wars happened first in the Star Trek canon or something like that. So maybe
something real bad happens, and they World War III level stuff first, and then they finally figure it out. And I think that's how it goes.
It's a bad. It's not reassuring at all.
Yeah, it's no good.
But maybe one of those Johnsons will marry a spacer.
Yep,
and there'll
maybe
be a Captain Spacer who will lead the Federation.
Yep.
To a new realm of enlightenment.
First contact with a new race of one-eyed monkeys. I have no idea what'll happen. I'm sure it'll be great though. Oh, this is dumb. There we go. Okay, so we await Kyle's return, and when
He's
he
almost
does,
ready.
Excellent. Moo ha ha.
Moo ha ha.
Moo ha ha.
I am the Moo Lord.
That's right. It'll be great.
Ha ha ha.
Behold my many moos.
Oh man.
Moo. Moo. Moo.
Moo.
Moo, 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 moo. I'm thinking of the moo thing we did.
It was good.
Moo, 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 moo.
Oh my
That's
gosh!
cow for don't eat me.
I was up way too late.
Moo, 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 moo.
Yeah, don't eat me. I'm a cow. I stayed up so late last night playing that.
Catalyst Black.
Catalyst
Gotcha,
Black.
eh?
It's good. It's really fun.
Yeah.
That thing needs controller support. It doesn't work with my Backbone or any other external controllers.
I know. It's got me hooked, dude. It's a
That
good
would
game.
that would have given you an edge, man.
Oh,
An
100%.
awesome edge.
And I'm still just kicking ass. In that
It's
game.
fine though. There's so much like not good players of video games in there. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I rock.
I'm annoyed when on the other team there's someone who's also good. And I'm like, damn it, why do we get
I
paired
know.
up?
I didn't. It took me.
I will end a game plus 17 kills, and there'll be like 3 or 4 guys that got like 1 kill and did like 20 damage. And it's just like, oh, just get out of the way.
Yeah.
Get
It
out of
took
the way,
me.
good person on your team.
It took me like, I don't know, 4 or 5 games before I even had a death. And,
Yeah, like at first they ease it up, but like I was playing last night while watching Obi-Wan Kenobi for the second time,
Yeah.
and I had a game. It's like a 3-minute game. I had 27 kills and 0 deaths.
Yeah,
It's like top.
it's great.
It's like, oh,
It's really satisfying, and some people just come rushing in. I got one of those. I got the Gatling gun that takes a while to start up, but once it does,
like we're the whale makers, so we're gonna keep owning those people. That's why they're like, I said I'm gonna spend $1,000 to keep up with this asshole with the noob gun.
no kidding.
Yeah.
They should
I'm
put
back,
that game
pardon
on
me.
my Switch. That's where I want to play it. I want 2 sticks, man.
Yeah, but it plays real nice.
Yeah.
I just
So
wish it wasn't full of gotcha stuff, but I find I don't need it. We'll talk about it probably.
Yeah, I
next
haven't
week,
had that
but I'm
problem
like,
at all. I'm sure
I
we'll
just
talk
use the
about it.
default weapons that I'm kicking A, so I'm like, whatever. You
Yeah.
guys spend money, I'm good.
Kyle, you'd be interested because it's that It's
Kevin Johnson and Kyle Dates from Heroes now work for Super Evil Megacorp.
yeah.
And they released a mobile game called Catalyst Black, which is a like a 3-minute MOBA on your phone, but it's a twin stick shooter, so it's like Overwatch, like it's like guns.
Yeah, it's fun.
But it's a MOBA, and the loop is good. The
strong.
cheese. It's got good cheese toppings on it.
Great polish. Everything looks really nice. Very, I don't know, whatever that stuff Blizzard's
my
magic
hero
sauce.
skills are paying off here because I'm just like, how are people this bad at this game? And there's so many fresh foundlings in this game.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
But I'm getting into games left and right, and I'm rocking people.
Yeah.
I had a little more hard time on that 3-way win thing that you can do. The
Hydra's my mode. But have you played? There's like a PvE mode. There's like a planet side mode where there's like 50 people doing a giant battle. It's good, man.
It's good.
Eventide.
You gotta unlock all that. But yeah, it's very cool.
It's a good game, man.
It's very good. Totally impressed with it. And I don't even like action-based mobile games.
I think being on the phone is what provides us with a fresh supply of noob players, because I feel like if this was a PC game, it'd be only people good at those kinds of games playing, and they'd be like, "Wow,
we get rocked." Yeah.
But because there's so many I just hate to say there's so many below average. I don't know if it's like kids playing, and I'm just schooling kids the whole time, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this looks like they took the brawl mode right out of Heroes.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. The win for me here is that you've got abilities and stuff that you can pop after cooldowns and that. But other than that, it's a dual stick shooter. Think of Geometry Wars or something like that. You're moving with the left, you're firing with the right, and it's monstrous. It's real good. It's real good.
You can pick your weapon loadouts, so whatever weapons you prefer, you go with, and then you can transform into a giant. What do they call those things?
I
Gokus?
forgot the
Not Gokus,
name. They have a name like that.
Geico.
It's Geico.
Goku
agent.
Geico.
Yeah.
No, what is the? There's mechas, and then the other one.
The other
Ghana? No.
Kaiju is what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you turn to a kaiju monster.
Yeah.
As everyone's, and you can pick different kaijus, and then you transform into a kaiju, and you go all over the.
Yeah. It's really cool. Highly recommend
And
it.
the matches are like 3 minutes. They have all these mechanics in it. It's like 3-minute match, and you're like, I'll play again.
Yeah.
And somehow I'm getting double-digit kills in these matches, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's really fun. I like it a lot. Okay, let's get back to it then. Let me get to where
all
I
right,
can,
let's get back to it. Indeed.
hit record here. Okay, boom, we're back. Hey everybody, welcome back. We're now for the last part of today's session, and I'll throw it back to Bo, where we are in the thick of the action right now.
Yeah, so you're fighting before the front gate. The goblins, only a few seconds have progressed in these past hour and a half of play. But the goblins continue to scale and battle with the Toyota host hordes up atop the gate. Varel is in the middle of a grapple with with two Kuromu Kishi samurai orcs behind him, and a giant marine, like a metal marine, in front of him, and two flaming plague rats atop his face. When over your earpiece devices, a voice comes in and says, "I've taken out the first cannon. I'm going to go have some fun." And then another voice appears up and be like, "What, already? We're just getting started over here. Why don't you come help us?" Fine, I will come help you. And he's like, actually, never mind. Maybe we don't need help. And there's no response from Diantala's voice, as you can feel the irritation ebbing through the headset on it. And then Nash goes, "Well, help if you want." White Nash says, "Well, help if you want. It's just, I think we got this. There's a lot of Nashes here, and I think one of them's casting a pretty important spell. I'm not sure what spell it is. He's already casting it, so I'm not gonna interrupt him."
Bunch
Great.
of losers.
Great.
I don't know. One of them's busy. We're doing something.
"Would you make up your mind?" And Stanley says, "No." "What?" "Has everyone on this channel lost their mind?" Monsoon checking in. I'll be done mine soon as well. Let's make our way towards the center. Die and tell us. Fine. And then you're, and then White Nash's voice goes up to, so are you coming to help here or not? And there's just silence on the intercom again. All right. So we're at the Kuromokichi's turns, I believe. We have. I like someone drew the arms on the Kuromokichi on the token.
How did that happen?
All right, so we got to roll saving throws. That's where we left off. What are these Constitution saving throws? They are failures, and both of the orcs begin. They're on all fours. They're barfing and shitting all over the ground around, and you can hear the liquid Nash like hitting the dirt, even though you can't see them through the mist of farts that you're now also in, that you'll be dealing with soon, as dread over having to deal with the consequences of your own spell begins to sink in. The Kuromokichi behind, the one behind that you're stabbing, Hope, turns around with both blades in a big swing, immediately sensing, your presence because you stabbed him a couple times, and makes a few swings. So I got a 19. And I got a 14 for some sword hits. Either your AC's pretty high, right? 24? Oh my.
Yeah, it's a miss.
So you sort of dodge out of the way, out Bushidoing the Bushido orcs themselves as you. The second one spins around too, sensing difficulty, and actually brings up his sword and circles around you, waiting for a reaction instead of striking you, looking for the precise moment with which to counterattack you with. And you read that immediately. So they're now both facing you. And so the other orcs are kind of... Oh, so the giant ape the giant ape is standing on the jeweler's car that's not going very fast. And the orc's able to clamber on up. And as he clambers on over the hood, he didn't really notice that you had jumped over there, and he looks up and his eyes are filled with shock as he sees the shadow of an ape, and you go, oh, and look over towards him. And then he swallows his fear, gets up onto the car, and the car's puttering along slowly, and he brings up his blades and prepares to dodge any incoming attacks and counter, rather than as he balances upon the car. I'm going to roll a dice for that last Kuromokichi with the nameless orc who's driven off. Okay, we now move to Hope. It is your turn. So you have an orc on your left who's readied, and you have an orc on the right who's swung at you and is in mid martial art.
Perfect. She'll keep going after the one on the right.
Okay.
Like 24.
It's a hit.
17 damage.
Okay, describe your slaying of this orc.
Ooh, rapiers, they're just so fancy as weapons. So just a little stab through the throat, and then it comes out clean.
Okay.
And then as he's falling, she'll whistle out for diplomacy and have it come around to use the bonus action to stab the one that's ready.
Okay. As you're stabbing the second one, this is the noise the fallen orc makes. As his blood curdles as he drops to both knees and falls over. You hear that? You hear that pretty good? Was that?
Yeah, that was
That
real
was
good.
good.
It worked. Yeah, it was good.
Perfection.
I give myself inspiration. All right, so the make your attack roll on the second orc.
So diplomacy will attack with a 23.
Okay. Oh, diplomacy comes around and attacks with the 23. All right, it connects.
9 damage.
9 damage. Okay, perfect. So he goes, "Ugh," and he just shoulders the stab, still concentrating on parrying you in some way.
Really? Okay. Well, Hope's curiosity is picked, so she'll do her second attack on him just to see what happens.
Okay, so you swing out with your, swing out with your sword.
26.
Okay, perfect. That is now shit, I rolled a 1. All right, so
Hope likes what happened.
so he attempts to deflect. He brings both of his swords together to try and parry the sword swing and misses completely, hitting air as you pull an Elden Ring boss move of like going to stab, then going,
Fat roll away.
and you sort of slow down, and then he swings, and then you go in for the stab. Roll your damage dice.
Cool. 13 damage.
13 damage it is. So you stab in, getting him for 13. Okay. He takes more damage as another stab enters him.
Third attack rolled a 1.
All right, so you roll a 1 on this one. His parry misses. You roll a 1 on that one and hit air, and you trip and fall, and he sort of stumbles, and you fall into a pile of body with him. Both of you drop your weapons on the ground as well. As you both hit the ground in sort of this weird, just everyone's trying to out ninja each other. You end up in a ninja fail pile on the ground.
As long as nobody's looking, it's all right.
You both rolled 1s during this sort of interaction. It's kind of funny. And you're on the ground. All right, Nash, you're up.
Okay.
Constitution saving throw, baby.
Oh,
you gotta
yeah.
beat a 17.
Yeah.
Does he get advantage on this, Stanley?
Wait, I don't.
I mean, you're immune to poison.
Yeah, I don't have to do anything.
So
I'm
I
immune.
think you're fine.
Those guys have
So I
to.
said dread filled you in the last round. Then your dread is immediately relieved.
I mean, doesn't mean he can't smell it. It's just he can keep it down.
It just means he's used to it, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do know, and it's gross.
It is pretty gross. Is the guy above me, what's his little icon mean?
There's no guy. Oh, the guy like.
I
north
mean,
of
just
you?
north of me.
Yeah.
He's
It means he's poisoned.
And the other guy is also
The
poisoned.
other guy would also be poisoned because he failed the last
Okay,
roll.
just making sure. All right, one of them has me grabbed by the leg or the arm or something. So
Yeah, upon failing though, he's let go because he's got to deal with his uncontrollable barfing.
Okay, and the other guy's.
Which is like you slowly see it pooling near you and within touching distance, so you want to move.
I am going to definitely move. To about here. Do you see where I'm at?
I like how it's basically like you released a fart and everyone's dying, but it's you're capable of dealing with your own farts. so
Yeah,
you
I
have
just
advantage
dealt with my own
and such.
fart. It's all fine.
I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
That's right. I'm going to chromatic orb this guy now that I've got some distance on him. I'll aim for this dude here.
All right, chromatic it up.
Here we go. That would be a 21 to hit.
It's a hit.
And
What type of orb was it?
Chose. Well, I know they suck at poison. I should stick with that. Hold on.
Can you do poison? It's probably acid damage. I think.
There's poison. So there's acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder.
Oh, there's poison. Okay.
I'll do poison damage because it's damage. It's not just going to make him sick. So here goes. Here comes damage. Whoops, I got to cast it. There we go. All right. That would be 34 points of damage. Poison damage.
What? That's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Only 3rd level, too. Pretty good.
So you rolled 3d8?
I did 5d8.
So you cast it not at the 3rd level. You cast it at the higher spell level. Right?
No, I cast it at 3rd. That's 3rd
Then
level.
it's 3d8
Yeah.
damage. You only get the extra damage if you cast it at a higher spell level.
Oh, why is it?
Because you might be looking at a higher level on your sheet.
Well, no,
So
because the very next one. So if I do it at 4th, I get 6d8. If I do it at.
you have to. So at higher levels, you cast a spell using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher. The damage increases by 1d8 for each slot above the 1st.
Right.
So the baseline damage is 3d8 if you cast it at its spell level, which is
Yeah, that's level 1. So I
that's
cast
level
it.
1.
I cast it at 3, which is 5. 4d8
Yeah,
for
so
2.
So you burn a 3rd level spell slot. Not
Yeah,
a
I
1st
did.
level spell slot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, perfect. So 5d8 it is. It was 30. How much damage?
34.
All right, so which guy? Sorry, it was the guy on the left, right?
Guy on the left.
All right, so you make a really big chromatic orb that looks like a giant booger of poison and fire it at him and describe your slaying of this orc.
All right, I yell, even though it doesn't have a vocal aspect to it. I yell, "Hey, let's see, hey, you big piece of poo! Here, have a giant ball of goo!" And then I throw it, and it goes all over him, and that's the end of that guy. He's dead.
All right, so it just lands and douses him completely.
Yep.
And he makes one last vomit before expiring. He goes, "Bleh."
Great. Someone else is going to have to clean this area up. I'm not going to hang around here. It's pretty gross.
Yeah, it is pretty gross. All right, he has been slain. Any other moves on your turn? Bonus
Not at
action?
the moment. No, I'm good.
Okay, then we move on to the paladin of the umbilical order's turn. And so Nash, you've got control of his arms, and as you control his arms, even though you're the one in the grapple, he brings his. Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
I was saying it's Burrell. It's all good. It's all good.
What did I
Nash
call
was
you?
worried for a second. You said Nash.
Yeah, you
so-
said
Oh,
Nash,
sorry,
but
Varel.
I
Even though
knew you
you're
meant-
in control of the grapple, Varel. My apologies.
Yeah.
He brings his face closer to yours, and he speaks to you directly, Varel. And all right, I'm trying to fill time while I do button.
Your kind were created to be slaves. The principle will ensure that the chrome cord remains attached. Surrender yourself to your nature. You are intellectual property of humankind, and you will be put to the blade. You will serve the paladins of the umbilical order as it was written in the ancient texts. Surrender yourself now.
Okay. He says that to you, and as he says that to you, a device, this Gatling gun, like sort of moves up onto his shoulder, pointed at your face, and begins spinning up. And you start taking Gatling gun bullets to the face.
Damn.
My face is under attack.
All right, and that is a 27.
That's a hit. Does it hit
All
the
right.
rats? Am I protected by 2 giant rats on my face?
No, the bullets will probably pierce through them if they hit, but it's computer guided targeting, so yeah, you take 26 points of piercing damage as the Gatling gun begins, and like the bullets bounce off your scales, but they're doing like they're piercing in and cutting, and you're like but you're like greatly protected as the Gatling gun's just like, and you hear this loud noise, and everyone can see this, and there's like a chain of shells ringing off the back. And no, the rats don't get hit. This is computerized technology, and they are dodging the rats, who also remain on your head, and they make bite attempts at your eyes as the Gatling gun pounds your head in. All right, one is too low of a roll. The other one is going to be a 16, which I think is also too low for you. AC, yeah, your AC is 20, so that's not going to be a hit. They attempt to nibble at your eyes further. It is now Stanley or Varel's
Well, I'm going to
turn.
do my reaction to the paladin. So he has
Okay.
to make a DC 17 dexterity saving check or get
Oh.
flamed.
Failure.
Get flamed.
Sweet. He takes 7 points of fire damage just from fire and blood erupting from my face in his direction.
Okay, perfect. As it erupts in his face and direction, it coats his armor and does nothing to him.
Sure.
He seems to have an immunity to your fire damage. All right. Yeah. Now, Varel, it is your turn.
Okay. Got 2 rats on my face. A minigun firing in my face. I got a dead Kuromukishi behind me, but one is still going, but engaged with Hope and the blade.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna flame burst first to see if that kills a rat.
Yeah. And you have him grappled. Yeah.
Cool.
So you flame burst, and again, both the rats explode into flames. This time, they begin melting and slow down as they fall off your head.
Excellent.
Yeah, until like these little like fireballs that go plummet to the ground at your feet.
Now, Hope
and
fell down.
The Kuromokishi behind you also takes the fire damage as well.
Okay, perfect. And Hope will take the reduced fire damage as well. But Hope is on the ground, correct?
Yeah, they're in the ninja fail pile behind you.
Oh, they're both on the ground, so I couldn't duck and have the bullets kind of go behind me.
And you know, I feel like you're hold these for me.
Yeah, no. Okay, well, if they're both on the ground, then I don't think he can make opportunity attacks.
No, they wouldn't be able to make opportunity attacks.
So I'm gonna, with my face under fire, just start pushing this guy towards Stanley.
Okay, yeah, you can move him. So your full movement is what? 40?
Push him toward the monkey.
Yeah, that's my thought. Is like, if he's entirely engaged in
you can move your
me-
full 40. So you haven't grappled, so you can move your full 40 and bring him with you, without skill checks required.
Sweet. Yeah, I would like to just kind of like, while under fire, got his hand, just kind of start walking him back with the in the face, going after he set a bunch of random bull in my way, and I'm just going, I never studied history.
All right, then move your character, and I'll move the paladin where you want him.
All right, I'll take him over here.
2, 3, 4. Okay. Perfect.
Or if I can twist him there, so I can get him in monkey range.
Sure. All right. So the car is going that slow that you're able to catch up with the jeweler's car. As you walk him towards the slowed car with the ape on top of it, and there is another Kuromokishi on the trunk, standing and facing down the ape. Yeah. Okay. So you've moved him there.
Okay.
You still have an action, I believe.
Yep. All right. Well, we're grappled, so hands are occupied. So I'm gonna give him a double bite attack.
Are you going to do attack rolls, or are you going to do bite the helmet off? It'll be athletics.
Let's see if we can bite that helmet off.
Yeah, because you're able to on his face quite easily, but then you have to yank it off. So it requires
kind of spit it. Off
it's going to be
side.
It's going to be a tough check, though. This is metal screwed bolts in. It's solid, so we're going to need a good roll from you.
All right.
Yeah.
Probably more useful than like biting metal. So let's do it.
We're in the very hard territory, so I need a high roll for it.
Natty 20 right there.
Woo! And what's the modifier you add? Like 9, I believe.
10. So it'd be a 30.
So it's a 30. So just FYI, DC of 30 is a nearly impossible setting, right? So if you roll as 30, you can kind of get away with almost anything that isn't quite possible. So the mouth comes out as you're getting hit in the head with bullets. Clamp on to the teeth, sink in, and then a little gap, and you bend metal. Like you just there's this high pitched squeak as the metal bends and lets you put your teeth in, and you go and with a big his face is exposed. And do you hold the thing in your mouth, or do you chuck it away immediately?
Oh, no, I just spit it to the side.
Yeah, you spin it to the side, and you look in his face, and you see he doesn't have a normal human head. It's almost like he was poured into the suit. Like his face is like stretched into the sides, and it's just like he's almost like one with the metal, as if he was like It's reminiscent of what we talked about Nash being poured in a flesh press. Like a mold. It's almost like he's flesh just molded in. He's got a face, but it looks like splotchy patches, like he's dried up human jello flesh in there. And his face, eyes wide in fear, his face is there, and he goes, "How?" He just says "how" in shock.
Perfect. I smile under the bullets.
Yeah. Yep, the bulls continue pummeling at your head. Stanley, you're up, and so you've seen all this happen from one corner of the eye, but you may be too fixated on the one in front of you. I don't know how your giant ape brain works.
Yeah, I mean, he feels like he's being challenged by this orc that stood in front of him and took no attack against him. So it's almost like a show off. And Stanley Ape Brain says that's not going to be acceptable, and he's going to try and punch him.
All right, make
to
your attack
start
roll.
with. So, all right, good thing I get advantage. Not by much. I think that's going to be a miss. That's 12.
Oh, 12 is going to be a miss, and he also makes an attack roll of 23.
That'll hit. Yeah,
to parry. Yeah. So what happens is you go to swing down, you end up smashing the back of the trunk, and you hear more beep 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 coming from the jeweler as you mess up his car, and then he jumps. He sort of sidesteps, does a front flip onto your hand, then flips into the air and jumps over your head and swings both of his swords at your head.
Oh, he does have disadvantage. Was that with the disadvantage? I mean, not that it's hard to hit the ape, but he should have disadvantage on the attack.
Sorry, granted by what? I'm just forgetting.
Foresight.
Oh, foresight gives you a disadvantage on the attack rolls. Okay.
Yeah.
What have I done?
What have you done?
It's not like I can complain about the balance of the item I made. What? Oh, that's because of foresight, right? Yeah, that's the spell. All right. So it's then a miss. So he is able to. He does sidestep. He does jump on your hand. He does the flips, but you see the possibilities where he hits both your head and misses your head, and you dodge your head the right way, and the swings go. And he lands now on the hood. So he's now behind you.
Next attack would be a 24 to hit.
Next attack would
for
be...
the multi-attack, because he's doing a multi-attack.
Yeah, so you turn around and swing at him. This is a hit.
Okay. I believe that is 3d10. Let me just confirm. Yes, 3d10 plus 6. Uh, 22 points of bludgeoning damage to him.
All right, he takes it. He's not dead. 22, right?
Yep.
He's suffered a total of 55 points of damage thus far. So the second one hits. Oh, I see someone's drawn a monkey body with a boot coming out. A lot of artwork going on in today's map.
If you need to move him, I can delete him.
It's fine. No, it's fine. I'm going to leave it there. I just needed to add the damage to the orc. Okay, perfect. Anything else you'd like to do, Stanley?
Nope, that's it for right now. Then now seeing two tasty targets, because now his challenge has been, he's shown his dominance to a degree, and now he is noticing the metal man as well.
Okay, so at the end of your turn, the intercom comes on again, and you hear the lizard tactical team says, "We have found Button. We are shooting Button now." And you hear the lizard tactical team come through. "Button fire! We praise the sky with Button!" In the background as well. And then you hear White Nash also get back on the radio, and he says, guys, so, well, you guys might have some questions. And as you say that, the bright, sunny desert sky darkens immediately and turns black as night, but not natural blue glowing night. It turns pitch black, and a large sphere of green opens in the sky. And then sort of everyone stops for a second. The Gatling gun stops shooting for a moment as this big change. Everyone, hope you're in your ninja pile as both you and the samurai orc look up into the sky. And everyone looks up, and the sky darkens, and a large green sphere emerges, and then a huge rock pelts through the darkness, and another rock, and then in moments there is a meteor swarm descending from the sky, and all these meteors begin towards some location beyond the mountains, and then you hear kaboom, 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 kaboom happening behind the sky, and then a large meteor also sort of just, and just and it sort of hits near some of the goblins, boom, and goblins go crashing, as well as the nameless orc who's driving his car with the Koromo Kishi with the flail on it. They've been fighting. They make this weird turn, and he drives straight into the rock wall, and both the nameless orc and the Koromo Kishi and the car just explode, also connecting with a meteor. Kaboom! Kaboom! There's a giant meteor shower occurring inside the solar mine periphery, and he's like, you hear on the intercom. So, oh shit! Oh no! Oh, run! You hear, and then that's the.
Jeez. Please tell me they didn't just kill themselves. All the Nashes aren't dead.
Right, and so taking advantage of this situation, as everyone's sort of dumbfounded by this meteor swarm that hit from the sky, the jeweler takes out his gun and shoots the orc on his hood and his crotch. All right, first shot is a hit.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, second shot is a hit.
Probably good Stanley was an ape for this, or he would just waste his turn scolding Nash over the intercom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically, while everyone was distracted, the jeweler whipped out his gun, shot the orc twice in the balls, and and he's like, "Take that, mother!" Boop! And then just like, like his balls fall out from his pants, hit the ground, and blood squirts out, and he just dies. He just falls over the car and just dies from balls bleed out.
Technical term for it, yeah.
And the jeweler's pretty proud of his sweet little roguish move. And that brings us to the Koromo Kishi's turn. The only Koromo Kishi's turn it is the one next to you, Hope. And he's dumbfounded by what he's seeing, so he misses his turn. And there's the one sick in the cloud who doesn't even know there's a meteor swarm going on. He's barfing and puking so much. So he passes his constitution save. He's like, oh. Wipes off his mouth, stumbles out of the cloud. What's his HP looking like? Yeah, he's still got lots of HP. And looks around and looks for you, Nash. And he sees you. And you're looking up, and he runs up, and he goes, ah! He's so angry. You just hear, ah! And he runs up at you and does a Liu Kang kick as he goes to bicycle kick you in rage. And that's a 14. Is that a hit? That's a hit on you.
That is a hit. You keep hitting my exact AC. Gosh dang it. It's the third time today.
So close. And he bicycle kicks you.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to take 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
Jeez.
As he goes, and you fly 20 feet in the air and hit the ground. Like he bicycle kicked you and goes, and you go flying 20 feet, hit the dirt.
Great.
While meteors go.
Wait, who does this?
The Koromo Kishi.
The
The one that was sick and not dead in the cloud. He succeeded and saved, and he ran out. And he's just so mad at being made to barf that he bicycle kicked the shit out of Nash. Like, ah!
Because John's been slowly adding to the art, and everyone looks really dead everywhere.
Okay. Nope. So the only ones remaining is the one near Hope, and the sick one that just kicked the shit out of Nash. All right.
Great.
Okay. That brings us, Hope. It is your turn. You have a moment where you realize the Koromo Kishi next to you is dumbfounded by this meteor shower in the sky.
All right, she's gonna spend half her movement to stand up. What would it take to grab her sword again?
Free action. Well, you'd have to move away. So the sword is one of the swords is on the other side, and your other sword would be just over here. I'll put a marker on it for you. Just hang on. There's a sword over here for you.
All right, cool. She will stand up, move 5 feet to grab her sword, move 5 feet back, and then attack the.
So
one
when
on
you
the
move the
ground.
first 5 feet, the Kuromo Kishi then becomes aware. It's going to do an opportunity attack, and it's the kind
Go
of thing
for
where
it.
he's going to try and grab your leg. He's going to
Oh.
attack, like punch your leg to knock you back down. Right, one of those kind of fights where someone gets back up and the other one draws them back down.
Totally.
It's a miss. He goes to grab you. You dodge out of the way quickly and pick up the sword in one fell motion. That's your free action used.
Sweet, and then she'll head back to him and attack him.
All right, with advantage. He's lying on the ground. He raises his hands up.
All right, so 27 for the first one.
27. Okay, that's a hit.
16 damage.
All right, 16 damage. Perfect. Oops, wrong guy. Okay, he's still going. You'll have to make another roll. You sink down.
All right, I rolled an 18 for the second one for the advantage, so a natty.
So he's looking in rough shape from that stab. You stabbed him really good the first time, right? He's like, and you bring the sword back, and you go to do it again. He grabs the sword with his hand, and his hands bleed, and he's just holding the sword within an inch of his life, near death.
Cool, and Hope will do the hand on the back of the hilt of the rapier and help shove it in to kill him.
Yeah.
Cool. And then in that case, she sees that Monkey Man and Varel have the paladin, so she's going to finally turn her attention and see what's going on with Nash.
Oh, so you kill him with the hilt of your hand, right? So I just want to say he also yells out, "I die with honor!" And then those are his last words.
Hope, Hope, they're dedicated. She'll give them that. And then so the one that's still alive, is it the one in the green puddle that's still alive, or is it the clean one?
It's the clean one.
The clean one. Okay, cool. So she'll whistle and send diplomacy over to the clean one for an attack.
Okay, do it. I see the beginnings of some googly eyes.
Oh, 1. It's a 1.
All right. So it misses, and you fling the sword outside of your control range. I think it has a limit range of 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you fling it outside, it just hits the ground. You no longer have mental control of it until you pick it up.
Sounds good.
All right. This brings us to Nash.
Gosh. All right. So
You just got bicycle kicked into the ground. You're lying. You're on your back. On what just happened?
And it's from this douche over here, right? It's still sitting there.
Yeah. That's the last Kuromo Kishi living.
This guy here. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we need to end that. So
Meteors are flying on the sky overhead.
I'm going to give him what I gave his other pal at level 2. I will cast Chromatic Orb. Here comes the hit dice. Oh, shit. An 11.
An 11. Okay, that is a miss.
You don't say.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. So as a result of that, I will rise up at about 20 feet with my underwear just to stay away from him. I don't want him to run over here and do that again.
All right, he can jump up and jump kick you at 20 feet. These guys have supernatural jumping abilities. You may want to go higher.
20 feet, really?
Uh-huh.
Okay, then I'll go as high as I need to avoid that.
So your movement is 30. So
I'll go 30.
Actually, sorry, you know what? Your underwear speed is 10.
Oh.
So you can actually go up as high as 10 feet per turns if we're keeping track here. Yeah. I
Oh,
believe
well, that's
right.
some horse shit.
But you have dragon wings, I think at this point.
He does. He just
Yeah.
doesn't use them.
Yeah. So you can actually burst just dragon wings from your back and use those to fly at a faster speed.
I thought I couldn't use those unless.
I'm looking for the feat here.
Yeah, where
class
is it?
Features. Oh, I'm looking at Varel. That's why I can't find it. All right, one sec. I need Nash.
I'm looking
Features
at
and
the
traits. You have let's see.
Dragon wings.
Dragon wings. You
Bonus
can create and dismiss dragon wings as a bonus action to gain flying speed equal to your current walking speed, which is 30. So
All right, I'll use
your
those.
Underwear's 10 feet, but your dragon wings are 30.
Yeah, screw my underwear. We're going straight up with the wings. 30 feet. 30-foot
All right.
wings, man. Let's do it.
Wings burst from your back and you fly up.
I forgot I had that. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So now you've got giant wings bursting from your back, a baby arm and a mouth going like, "Hey, what's going on out there?"
Yeah, I'll just be like quiet.
I don't have a sense of smell, but I do have some olfactory capabilities in my mouth, and I taste farts.
I'm not going to answer him. He can just live with it. He can just huff on my farts. I don't care.
All right. Okay. What a hero, man. You need your own. Wizards needs to call us to make your own source book, the Nash Mag. Like, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, how they have like Elminster's whatever, and
Yeah.
like Volo's Guide to Mod. There should be like Nash's Guide to Farts or
Yep.
something.
Let's do it. I'll
Official book.
self-publish it. That'd be totally fine.
Yeah. All right. That brings us to the Gatling gun as it continues to bear down upon your face. It stopped. No. Actually, it stopped. It stopped because everyone was distracted by the meteor storm. But the umbilical paladin turns himself to your attention, trying to catch you off guard. But you have not been distracted for too long. So he isn't able to do that. The next trick he attempts to do is he disengages his hands from his wrists. So all of a sudden you're just grappling two free hands. All right, and then he enables his jetpack and attempts to grab. So he's pushing into you with his jetpack. You're going to get pushed either way, but he's going to make a grapple attempt upon you to move you around.
$27 for me.
Okay, so that doesn't work. So he's just in his rage. He's trying to grapple you to try and leverage you, probably to go up with his jetpack, but you are now flying at high speed as he's going to attempt to ram you into something, but hasn't made it the full way. So he sort of got you like this. You've got his hands in his hands in your hands, and he's now just like jetpacking you down the desert. All right, Varel, it's your turn.
Oh, man. My turn lead up is always so wildly different than what I expected.
Yeah, a lot happens.
All
Some
right.
more?
Well, I guess I'll let go of his hands, the hands I have.
Okay.
Is there any, like, straps or... I assume it's more of, like, attached to him. He's not exactly strapped into the rocket
It's
pack.
Space Marine like. It's like
Yeah.
sort of more Doom Marine style. So like you could rip off metal pieces. His face is still exposed, which is an area of vulnerable attack potentially compared to his metal armor. And he has you hugged around his waist, so his face is in distance. There are like hydraulic connectors and wirings between some of the metal platings that have exposures that you could also target in an attack.
Oh, so he's like Raiden pushing me.
Yeah, exactly.
Face down.
It's a raid and push. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I would like to just start ripping at wires and tubings and whatever it is available on his back
All right.
as we fly.
Yeah, make your attack rolls.
Would these just be unarmed, like clawing attacks on his back?
Yeah. They would do damage because you're targeting weak points. So you can, if you make the hit, you'll get full damage.
Cool. The first attack is a 21.
Yep, hit.
So 6 unarmed damage to essential pipes and wires.
Yep.
And the second attack, a 29.
29. That's a
Yep.
hit for sure.
6 more damage to various wires and such.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll do my Hungry Jaws
Yeah.
as a bonus action to bite some wires and tubes.
Okay.
And this one cannot be reckless. Be a 16.
16 damage, right?
Or 16 to hit.
All right. You're not able to get your jaw into the right place, so you don't hit on that one. But you certainly pull out a lot of components and circuit boards as you as you stab in and pull out. All this stuff goes shrink, shrink, and so you're definitely pulling components out. Electricity sparks courses through your body. Upon each successful hit, you will take lightning damage.
Okay.
6 lightning damage for the first one, and 2 lightning damage on the second instance.
All right.
And yeah, anything else you'd like to do?
That'll be it.
Okay, perfect. Then we are up to Stanley.
Well, seeing them jet off, angry giant ape Stanley is chasing his prey, and he's going to just grab the body of the ballless Kuromakishi from the car and chase after him, and chase to about there, which is his 40 feet of movement, and then he's just going to hurl that body at the paladin as it continues to run.
All right, make your attack roll.
All right, so that's going to be a 19 to hit.
And it's a miss. So the body hits the armor of the paladin and just explodes into a pile of flesh and guts, and Varel's face is just covered. It's like, you can still see through it. There's no disadvantage, but it's basically there's a giant splotch of guts and orc bones on the back of the paladin and on Varel.
And then Giant Ape Stanley just roars, angry that it didn't work this time.
Okay, perfect. That brings us to the nameless one who seemingly passed away in an explosion. The jeweler himself is like, thank beep, and then takes off in his car. He finally can drive again, although it won't drive the same after you sat on it. Oh, wait, did you jumped off of it? Yeah.
Yeah.
All the Kuromu Kishi. Oh, no, there's still one alive, the bicycle kick guy. He sees you trying to get away, Nash, and but then he realizes he can hear the jet engine approach, and he takes out his last remaining blade and puts it up, holding his hand to the back of it, so that his partner can fly you through the blade, hopefully cutting you in half. Varel. So he stands in a motion, one hand behind the blade, and so you're gonna get sliced through that pretty badly, Varel. That brings us to Hope. Your turn.
Oh wow. Well, I guess Hope's gonna take off flying with the wings she's sprouted here.
Someone drew a bat body on you.
Yeah.
You're like a lamb bat, like half lamb, half bat, half tiefling.
Sure.
Bringer of the end of days. It's good. All right, she's going to start heading toward the alive Kuromokishi.
Okay.
Actually,
Remember, you can dash if you want to close the distance, but that's an action. But you are an action surger, so you got options.
Yeah. Nash seems to be okay. He's still alive, right? You're still alive, Nash.
Still alive, right? Yeah, he's fine.
He's not the Nash you're worried about. Whoever Meteor Nash is, it's floating in everyone's mind that there will be questions. Yeah.
All right, and then the paladin is now on the ground, getting his guts getting pulled out. Yeah.
The paladin is on the paladin.
No. The
Sorry.
paladin of the umbilical order by Varel.
We're
Yeah,
in the
so
midair, like being
Midair.
rocketed back.
That's right. You took
he's
off
he's
midair.
he's raidening him. So he's Superman pushing him.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, and Varel, like your feet are dragging on the ground as he's like raidening you into a blade. Now there's the Chromakishi behind him has a blade up to slice Varel in half, and at the speed they're going at, this is going to be terrible, terrible damage. To quote Egon Stetman from StarCraft 2.
How high off the ground is the paladin?
Just like 3 or 4 feet.
Oh, cool. Oh, in that case, Hope will run over to the paladin and start attacking.
Okay. Yeah. So you sort of see that you can cut him off, right? So yeah, you can close that distance as they fly past. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you got it. So you rush up.
All right, and she'll start stabbing up at him.
All right.
17 for the first one.
17 is a miss. It hits plate. Blink.
Ooh, a crit for this next one with the 19.
Well, crits hit, so yeah, it's a hit. That's the other thing. With 18, you now have a 15% auto hit chance, no matter how high the AC is. 15%.
Right, so 17 damage for that one.
17 damage. Okay, piercing. Yep. All right, next.
And a 17 for the third one.
All right, so 17 is 34. I believe that's correct. So 34. Okay, perfect. So you stabbed once and hit plate. You stabbed twice, targeting. You are going to take electricity damage as a result. 3 for the first hit. 5. Lightning damage. 9 total. 3 and 5 is 8 total for the damage. I'm going to add his damage to him. You hit twice and you hear him go. "Ah!"
Does it look like Varel's pretty heavy?
Well, Varel, what's your weight?
Like, is Varel slowing the fly down?
No. There's a rocket pack. They're going like you running up and just stabbing as they fly by. They're not going to be there next turn, whether or not you kill them, unless you're able to stop the momentum of the rocket pack.
Yeah, could I try, if I do my action surge and athletics, to grab Varel's foot and throw myself on the ground and kind of stop him?
So it would take an action. So because you've used one, you'll have to action surge to do that. So you want to try and grab onto Varel's foot?
Yeah, as I
him?
throw my body weight on the ground.
Okay, but you're trying to stop both him and the rocket pack, right?
Yeah.
So even if you grab his foot, there's a chance you can grab his foot, but you won't stop the rocket pack, and you'll be along for the ride as well.
True, but could it be one where it throws off the current trajectory?
Okay, but that would still require the athletics check.
Yeah.
You'd have to be strong enough to alter the outcome of what's happening. So it's actually going to be 2 checks. Because they're flying by fast, we're going to make a dexterity check, a sleight of hand or acrobatics check, whichever you prefer, to time it and grab him. Then you'll be grabbed. Then we're going to do an athletics check to see if you can alter the outcome of anything that's happening here. All right?
All right, let's
The
go
first
for
one
it.
will be an easier DC. The second one will be a difficult DC, a very difficult DC.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
All right, acrobatics is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right, you time it. You're going for the leg, right? Thigh or calf?
Let's go for the calf.
All right, grab onto the calf. As they fly, you do your stabs, and then immediately you drop the sword because you're going to need both hands for this. You stab twice, do the damage, take lightning, clash onto the calf, and now strength to alter the outcome of what's happening here.
25.
25.
Pretty good.
25.
You lock your feet real quick into a wide position, and you yell something. What do you yell? Is it?
Oh, shit! She didn't realize she could do this.
All right. Oh shit! It's more like that, right? as you lock both legs, grab onto his calf, and Captain America, this Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
this as you like,
And it'll zoom in on the muscles and the arms.
and you just stop it completely, and your arms are rippling, and you're like, oh shit, as you're holding, and the Raiden Paladin's like, and you stop it completely in its tracks. But now you're giving everything to hold on and maintain this position. Okay, I don't think you can do anything else with your turn, so we're gonna move on
that's it.
to Nash, who's watching. This reminds me of a movie you watched once in the Solar Mines called Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Oh
where
man.
Captain America's chasing after Bucky, and then there's a helicopter, and he holds one hand onto the side of the helicopter pad and one side onto the helicopter, and he goes, ah!
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, that's a. Yeah.
And then one wonders if there's anything about knowing that movie that will help me here, and Nash can't think of a damn thing. All right. Well, I don't like what's going on over there, so I'd like to try to help. Although Chuck E. Cheese over here is still alive, right? This dude here.
Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, he's got.
Yep. That's how we all identified him, and just immediately.
He's holding up a blade like this, right?
Yeah.
Because he was expecting to be the second half of the cold cut slicer on Varel.
Yeah.
But Hope has prevented this from happening through a feat of strength, holding them both in place by the calf. How the physics of this works is unknown, but she is doing it.
Okay, interesting. I really want to kill this guy because he's annoying me. The fact that he has his sword up doesn't give him any advantage, right? Against anything? He's not blocking.
He's not paying attention to you. He's paying attention to Varel.
Okay, good. Because I'm going to kick
And this
his
is all happening within seconds, so the battlefield's changing. He's going to react, but you react first.
All right, let's do it. We're going with Chromatic Orb again, and I'm doing it at level 3 again. And here comes the hit. Come on, you bastard. Gosh dang it! It's 11 again! How do I roll 2 2s in a row?
So flying up with your dragon wings, you fly it, throw out the chromatic orb, and it goes bloop, onto the ground in front of him.
That is a +9. A freaking +9, and I can't roll better than a 2.
Yeah, oh, that's rough. So you're rolling like sub-5s each time the past few rounds.
So bad. All right.
You don't have any advantage on those rolls?
No.
Or anything?
I mean, that's with all of them. It's +9 is as good as I get.
Well, maybe try different spells. The orb is out.
All right. Well, given the circumstances, I will remain at the height I'm at, but I want to fly with those wings to there because I'm trying to be in a better place to do more stuff to help. So that's where I go. I should have just cast like haste or something. Something I don't have to roll for. Freaking 2 2s in a row. Who does 2 2s in a row? Who does that?
That's all good.
Nobody.
Nash, Maggard of the Solar Mines, goddammit, that's who.
Nash Maggard of the Solar Rolls. All right. So the paladin, noticing that he's now being held, the arms that Varel threw away. So he threw them on the ground because he didn't need them anymore, but they don't hit the ground. They go in Iron Man style. There's these 2 hands now that go and crisscross, and they grab onto your legs for a grapple check. Hope. And it's all right. So we need to do a grapple contest versus your dexterity. I'll need 2 rolls, please. Or you can use strength.
Was it 25?
No, you can use strength or dexterity. Sorry, you can use either or.
Okay, perfect.
So the first one is going to be an 8 that you have to beat.
Okay, my first roll was a 25 and my second was a 16.
Okay, so the other one is going to be a 17. So one of them, pulls, doesn't do anything. The other one pulls and starts throwing your balance off. And so now you now only have one leg on the ground, and the other leg is being pulled up into the air. and you're still holding on with strength as he tries. So you're
Toes are really
so the world's like most hardcore game of Twister is now unfolding in the desert before the solar mines, and then the Gatling gun turns and faces your direction, and it spins up as it begins firing your way for a natural 20.
Gosh.
Man,
Oh no.
that
Oh,
crap.
I
shit.
think I haven't taken a lot of damage this fight, so it should be okay.
So I need a bit of time for the rolls. All right, for the Rolls Royces here. Uh-huh.
Also, Kristen, I think you still have inspiration from Stanley to use at a time of your choosing.
Bardic
It's,
inspiration.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
adding
that's
an
right.
extra D. What is it right now? A D12 that you can roll.
All right, we're at card lay territory though, but
Yeah.
so we're already rolling damage for the Gatling gun.
Yeah, it's not going to change anything for the Gatling gun, but just
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good
Yeah.
to
any
remember.
big save. Yeah.
You take
Or
50 points
check.
of piercing damage right as bullets graze you all. They hit your armor, pierce, bruise skin. One more turn of this could be lethal, but you hold on as the Gatling gun pelts away at you, and you just commit to the action. Vorel, it is your turn.
All right. Seeing that my fabulous duel has come to a dangerous moment, I'm going to trust, hopefully, a new friend in the longsword +2. So I will pull that out, give it a flip around, and try to just start, ring wraiths on the Frodo bed, just like and do it back
All right, do it. Let's make those rolls.
recklessly. 21.
That is a hit.
All right. I'll go ahead and do the second attack if that's okay.
Yeah.
Second attack is a 28.
Okay. So you want to just roll the full suite of damage?
Yeah, sounds good. I'll go ahead and unleash it here on the D&D. So 13, 10, and I need to add my 13, 10, 23, 20, 29 points of slashing damage.
29 points of slash. Okay, so we're gonna bundle that all up into one mega attack. Okay, for flavor, as the two attacks go down, describe your slaying of the paladin in front of you.
Gonna keep the sword. We got him, everybody. He's gonna keep the sword.
Yay! Woo!
So I've been ripping at all the panels and stuff, and I've kind of made it down to some of his meat in the back there.
Yeah.
And I'd like to just kind of bring it down, stab it straight in through the hilt, and as it does, and if the electricity damage is still going to happen because I'm hitting him, I'd like to pierce it down to the hilt, hits the various components, and the electricity bursts through his heart using the sword.
Snap. Okay.
And
you channel the electricity in there, sort of reflecting it flavorly into him. Okay.
exactly.
Yeah. And it pins him to the ground, and it destroys the rocket. So the momentum stops. The hands stop gripping you as well, Hope, as this happens. So you're also able to, just jump on the ground holding him, and are safe. The sword slaughters him instantaneously. You take a modest amount of 2 points of lightning damage as a result, as the lightning courses through you, and it breaks. All right, there is an orc behind you remaining, the one that was about to slice you up. Now we got lightning on this map. Is the most beautifully animated map, illustrated map we've had, guys. It's wonderful. You guys are
I don't have
brilliant.
any attacks left for him.
Should make a giant NFT and sell it.
Well,
Yeah.
Stanley's next. You could get Stanley. Perhaps could get the last laugh as you can bask in the glory of your epic kill.
Absolutely. My mind immediately goes to naming my sword.
Okay.
This
All
weapon
right,
is
Stanley, bring us home.
All right. Seeing an electric storm on the target he was chasing, the ape just diverts, goes charging over right next to the other orc, and just comes up and full boom, boom, just two big
Now,
old punches coming
Because
down at him.
we need to wrap up. We're getting towards the end of the show. I'll make a deal with you. I'll make a
Yeah.
DM deal.
Okay.
If you do a Winston style jump attack and pounce down, I will give you double damage.
100%. We'll do it. Yeah.
All right. You still have to make an attack roll for it.
Okay.
Just use you're throwing yourself. Use the rock modifier, but it's yourself you're throwing.
All right. That's going to be 26 to hit.
That's a hit. So you blot out. Well, there's no sun. You blot out the meteors above you, flying above you, as you rain down upon this orc. And the shadow grows bigger and bigger, and he's like, "No!" with the sword, but it'll make no difference. Roll your damage dice.
Okay. You said double the damage?
Yeah. You can roll double damage dice or just double the damage. Either way, we got to wrap up the combat, so I'm giving you a glory kill.
All right. That is 55 points of damage.
55 points of damage. So describe your slaying as you jump into the sky and ape style land on it.
So, yeah, he was with the momentum charging after the Rocket Man. He sees him go down and just uses it into a leap into the air. Double fist. This orc just looks up and just sees two fists the size of his body coming down at him, and just an explosion of sand and blood fills the air.
All right. And that explosion of blood fades us to black a little bit, right? Cinematically speaking. And then you hear a voice crackle over the radio. You hear, guys, I got good news and I got bad news. Which do you want first?
Give us the bad news.
And we'll find out next time.
Oh!
Perfect.
Didn't expect that. All right, there you go. Next week, we'll find out what that news is, both the bad and the good. I have a feeling the Nashes may have perished in their own stupidity. I'm really worried about that, but I won't know until next week. Anyway, can you blame them? Yeah, sorry, John. Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I mean, they're stupid, and all those
I'm
meteors.
trying to think what else is around Nash that they might have accidentally blown up instead. Like, maybe they blew up the whole town.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
It's entirely possible. The whole place is on fire, and the things
What
we
do you
needed
think's
them to do.
possible, Scott? It's your character. What do you think
I
might
mean,
have
I
happened?
think they're all well-intentioned.
You think maybe they casted some chromatic orbs too, and one of them got pissed off and casted a meteor swarm?
Maybe. Like, it felt like a lot of different meteors. I don't know.
Maybe they all casted meteors. Hey, you guys know meteor swarm? Yeah, me too. And they all
Yeah, and probably hit none of the targets we needed them to. I don't know.
They're like, why would we waste time trying to get in there? Let's just blow it up from the sky.
It's going to be a real revelation next week to find out what the hell happened
Something
there.
like that, maybe.
But that's next week, right here. In the meantime, get over to the website. There will be dungeons. A couple things you can do there. Send us questions for our Q&A shows, which some of you who are not supporters will be getting our late version of that from last month. And we'll do a new one this month. And if you're a supporter, you get it early. So that's just one reason to support us over there. You can find all the details at therewillbedungeons.com. That is going to do it for us, for me, for Kyle, for Kristen, for John, and for Bo. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Oh, wow. I don't know why I played that. It's okay, though.
All right.
There you go, everybody.
The war is just beginning.
Yeah.
Are you guys tired yet?
I thought there'd be some more Peters, but we still just got the corpses of the two Peters there.
You're still at the front gate, and the AA towers are just coming down. So probably next week you're gonna call in the Fate 6, and we'll see what happens next.
I'm gonna delete all my blood. Or not
No,
my
you should
blood.
leave it here. I'll save
Oh,
this
it was
forever.
good. It was good.
Oh, it's too late
This is
now.
another name for healing. Delete all my blood.
I like that. That's pretty good.
I like the map we've created here.
It's
I think
pretty
this
fun.
is-
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Communal
This is a real
illustration. I used to have a site called mydrawings.com, which now just goes to my website. But me and this programmer made this thing so that you could own a square and you could zoom into it and draw anything you wanted. You had to use a mouse, but you just draw whatever you want in there. And then somebody else could draw on the square next to you. But as soon as somebody claimed a blank square, it was theirs to draw in. You couldn't draw over their stuff. But eventually it was like this giant quilt of like millions of illustrations, and some people would add on to others, so they would start with like the head of something, and then the guy below would put a body, and the guy next to it put an arm, and it just became this big cool thing. And I still to this day think it could have been one of the more like big things I ever did, but we were way ahead of our times. It was like 2004.
Oh,
5.
yeah, that is because our place is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't
that
right?
Reddit thing where everybody could draw on it.
They probably
Yeah.
ripped it
Really
off from
took
you.
off.
They might have, or whatever. These ideas eventually just are.
Well,
gonna
I mean,
happen.
say ripped it off, but it's how these things. You put something into the ether, someone takes it and
Yeah.
takes it a little farther. But I'm just saying it.
It
I'm pretty
annoys
sure
me.
there's creations out there. I look at them and I'm like, someone's listening to There Will Be Dungeons. I swear to God. I was.
Well,
you know,
yeah, there was that. What was it, like an unearthed arcana after our show had been going about a year, and it was like they added a bard that talks. They added a lizard folk or not a lizard folk, but what was
Abyssal
it? Like,
chicken. It was abyssal chicken, which is like our chicken, some weird chicken.
Chicken
Like,
lord.
why is there a demon chicken? Like,
Right.
was
They
someone
added
there
like
just itching
classes
to do
that
that?
matched our campaign
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, did
weird.
they? Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
You had a talkie bard. You had, I can't remember what the berserker was, but it would have been perfect for Varel. They didn't do that there's no Nash Magard equivalent. There's no such thing.
No, there shouldn't be. He's
can't-
too
That,
unique.
that's why I'm like, you cowards. We need a Magard's guide to farts, like from them. Like not farts, but Magard's guide to vegetable peelings or something. Like
Yeah.
something on brand for him. But like,
yeah. How to use
just
vegetable peelings.
and it's just weird, gross shit. Like my chicken speaker subclass. Like just anything that's gross and disturbing in Scott's wheelhouse.
Yeah.
It's a book full of that stuff.
Yeah. Why?
I mean, Wizards. Is someone in the chat room work for? Like, you want
Yeah,
to
I
do
doubt
some
it.
business? Like, let's make a book. I will help with this book.
I doubt that
It
anyone
will
in
sell
there is
like
that.
tens of copies.
Yeah,
It'll
tens.
be great.
Oh, easily tens of copies. Yeah. That's a low bar.
And we'll
right,
get
I
all
got-
these guys to help make up stuff. Won't just be me.
I got some options here: King's Fury, Chrome's Bane, the Rustbringer, or Paladin's End.
Ooh, I like that.
I like
Ooh.
Paladin's End, and I
Mhm.
like, what was the Chrome one?
The chrome one, yeah.
Chrome's Bane.
Chrome's Bane.
Yeah.
Chrome's
good,
Bane's
too.
kind of good.
Pretty good.
'Cause-
Especially because it applies to what it earned its name from and what you also hope to do with it.
Yeah.
and you'll be able to show it off when you're trying to bane the Chrome. Like if you're
True.
with the principal, you'd be
Yeah.
like, "I got Chrome's Bane, bitch." Like,
Yeah.
It's like you can't just make up swords. I can.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Chat, we've enjoyed your hanging out. Hope you did too. And we can't wait to see you next time. My nephew's in there too. Hi, Owen. Hope you're doing good. Tell your mom and dad hi.
Hi, Owen.
Sorry for my
Hello.
bad language.
Yeah, don't worry about Bo. Just
You bleeped yourself.
Uncle Bo with his bleepy bleeps. Yeah, you bleeped yourself. You're fine.
No, I said the B word.
Oh, you did? Oh, he'll be
No, I
fine.
didn't.
He hears worse than that in high
Not the
school.
B word, Mike.
He's like 17. He's heard plenty. He knows
Listen, if
what's
I
up.
ever have kids, God help them.
Yeah.
Because like I will be cussing, but like around other people's kids, I try to be respectful because I don't know what their policies are, and I'm not.
You'd be a great
I'm not
dad.
that guy that's like, oh, let me just be the guy. I want
Yeah.
to respect whatever rules you have for your kids. It's
You would
fine.
be a great dad. I'm 100% sure of this.
I'm
Like,
sure.
zero doubt.
That may be true.
Zero doubt. All right,
Maybe.
chat. Thanks for watching.
I won't know until I do it. That's how I feel about it.